I am doing.
Yo.
Oh god, I'm hearing Emma and Echo. This needs to stop. I'm peeling a ginger.
Did you forget to mute the
Making a
stream?
smoothie. Yes, I forgot to mute the stream. Even worse, I started hearing myself and Echo. That's when I dropped what I had and started running to the PC.
Yeah, that checks out. We'll do the same. So, are we ready, Spaghetti Eddie, to play some D&D?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Time to become a vampire, wait, what?
Ayo.
What?
I'm going to start
Getting-
playing
getting-
smooth rock like that band. Vampires?
And that's enough for today. See you guys next week.
Yeah, thank you for the session. It was lovely to have you here. I think for next time we should probably prepare a bit more and need more puns. We
I
need
mean,
more
I can
puns.
prepare for more pun material.
Yeah, thank you. We need
No,
that.
don't give him time to do more of that. I swear
We
he
need
has a
about-
notebook.
We need about 20 to 30
Again.
hours of puns.
I don't know how to say this, but I don't have any notes. I don't have any material. I just come up with this. There is no such thing as me preparing the puns.
You're just cursed, huh? Can I
I
use
think of it as blessed.
restoration to heal him?
Don't
No.
think that there's much stopping this show.
No. Alright.
Good talk. I'll see you guys next time.
No. We need a recap.
Oh, you need a recap. Okay, so if you're all ready, let's jump right into it. The last time you had just defeated a reoccurring character by the name of Kamir, and before you even got to question him about anything, you decided to stab, swing, shoot, and defeated him swiftly. So that was the end of that, and that's where my campaign ended. I had nothing planned beyond that. So, who's taking over?
It's Orange Pun Campaign.
No, the Orange Pun campaign. So make a pun for how you enter the next room.
Let's not go down that slippery slope, actually. I can see how that ends already now.
Okay, so anyway, rifling through some of Kamir's belongings, you found several keys that unlocked the pathway leading onwards deeper into the castle on the grounds. And upon further entering another hall, you began to hear voices, and you all had the great, brilliant idea of sneaking up on them, except Valentina didn't get the memo and just walked briskly up to them, began waving at them as if she had known them for years, and started having a cute conversation while Lord Reginald stumbled afterwards with his cane and his broken back, seemingly encouraging Valentina by saying, "Oh, I didn't intend to go here," and I have no idea how that happened. Anyway, the one who actually rolled a good stealth roll, Paluna, began sneaking their way further into the chambers, while the other people in the room that turned out to be Arkham's lineage were briefly distracted by this sudden appearance of guests. And as they began in combat, after brief talks of how this whole situation is about to be played out, Paluna found a kneeling figure chained to several pillars and came to the swift conclusion that has to be Arkham, the long-lost deity of Valentina's belief. And as the combat ensued, Paluna decided to feed Arkham with his powers. Like, all of them. And in the moment when we thought that would leave out one party member, it revealed that whenever Arkham broke a chain, it would have a backlash on the people that the chain would be tethered to. And thanks to that, without even lifting a sword or a bow, Paluna managed to counterspell several times, stagger people, and also explode one at one point, seemingly becoming nearly the most effective party member during the combat by doing nothing. Valentina used her ace move, as per usual, Spirit Guardians, to continue to run around the room and blend people into shreds, and that seemed to prove very effective. And Lord Reginald was hiding under a staircase because it was raining.
Wow. As if that's the only thing I did.
Yeah. Hiding under a staircase was like telling you to shush, to shh, don't cast that spell. Shh, don't cast that spell. And that was it. But nevertheless, the three of them barely scraped by, Valentina going down towards the end. But thanks to Paluna's heroic efforts of freeing Arkham, Arkham stepped in the last moments to help remedy the situation by bringing Valentina back to consciousness. And in that moment, the combat concluded. Drained of life, resources, and energy in the end, the deity has become free from their shackles, woven by their own blood. A briefer was taken. Words were had about the situation and the outcome of everything that had led on to this moment. There was only one thing left for Valentina to decide, using Reginald and Paluna's counsel. How did they prevent the upcoming threat of Church Sanctum's crusade? They were given a few options to remedy the situation. To either cleanse the outer city walls of any Dhampirs remaining, of Arkham stepping forward, announcing himself as the returned leader of the city, to set an example of leadership and to try to negotiate or even scare off the invading forces. Another alternative was to lead the city, to let things happen as they were meant to happen, for either Dhampirs to run wild, for Church Sanctum's soldiers to be slaughtered, or for the vampire race to become completely extinct by the hands of Church Sanctum. In the end, Valentina made the choice to remove the Dhampirs. While many of them were friends, she also saw the downsides of letting them reside in the world, knowing that they had been manipulated by Ceric for a long period of time, knowing that the Dhampirs could continue to create more, unleashed by their chains, by their shackles, that this ensuing battlefield might cause. Valentina being lifted up into the air above the city, looking over the Dhampir district, and Arkham slowly waving his hand, recalling all his blood from within the Dhampirs, one by one extinguishing them all, causing a flood of blood, eventually to form a rain of blood, raining down on the city, cleansing the remaining curse that allowed for Dhampirs to be created through the bites of vampires. After a somber moment of vampires kneeling in the streets, recognizing perhaps not the person, but the aura that they emitted, you all found yourselves back in the castle again. Now with only rest in mind, and for Paluna to take off his clothing, Paluna and Valentina headed to the armory, while Reginald was left with one or two or a few choices in mind of what to do with the newfound reward in his hands. And that's where we left off, with Paluna and Valentina heading towards the armory. The scene is yours, and you may do as you please.
All right. Paluna?
Yes, Valentina?
Where's this armory?
Oh, well, I suspect Paluna walks over. You know, I think it would be here. Paluna looks at the doors. There's still a lockpick in it.
The lockpick is gone, but the door seems to be already slightly open, barely allowing some light to enter the room.
It's my most educated guess. Baluna walks up and opens the door.
And as you open the door, a larger room with weapon racks and armor stands and inventory of various kind aligning the walls and floor in front of you. Some of the armor pieces you recognize, they seem to have been the same armor suits that the soldiers walking the walls have been adorned at the time.
Ooh, I like these. Although I could use a stylish facelift, you know? Like, is it... How would you describe this armor piece the soldiers wore exactly, now that I see it unadorned?
They all somewhat scaly armor in pitch black that seems to be smoothly aligned with every segment of the armor attached neatly. And poking some of the armors, they don't seem to be making a sound as you move around on them. They seem extremely flexible.
I mean, they're very well made.
You think there's anything in here that would suit you?
Well, I sort of think that the armor these definitely would. But I mean, we can take a gander at what else is in this place. There might be something for you as well. This is, armory of vampires.
Right.
Just sort of stroll through and take a look around.
Looking through the armory, most items seem to be more or less the same. It seems to be an arsenal for soldiers changing shifts to walk in, to equip, and walk out again. So it's very much the same lineup of well-prepared armor in the same style. The only thing that seems to be changing slightly is the assortment of weapons. There are scimitars, rapiers, and bows, both in long and short bow format.
Well, I mean, there's a bit of everything here. I wonder if Reginald could be interested in some of this. Alas. Valentine, I would ask you to help dispel the cursed clothes I have.
Yes, let's get to it.
Just one moment.
Okay.
I open my courier trunk and lay out like a regular set of clothes that I had left over. I don't know what's gonna happen when you dispel them, if they're just gonna remain clothes or if they're just gonna disappear. So, just a heads up on that.
Yes. I got it. I will look away if your clothes disappear.
I mean, do as you wish.
She just kind of blushes and puts her both her hands on his shoulders, and I attempt to cast Greater Restoration.
All right.
With Diamond Dust.
Oh, with diamond dust. Okay.
Yes.
So you spray some of this diamond dust across the room and begin to mutter your incantation and weaving your hands. And as you let the energy escape from your hands and seep into Baluna, you feel the magic effect take effect. And Baluna, in that moment, as if the clothing burning up, it slowly vanishes from you and is slowly blooding yourself to the world from head to toe.
Bruno sort of moves his shoulders. Oh, it's nice.
Is he
These
naked?
clothes were really getting in the way. Oh, yes.
Valentina looks for a second, then she turns around.
I mean, Bruno's just casually going to put on his normal clothes. Finally. Back in the old gear.
Good, I'm glad
I
it
mean,
worked.
they were practical, but not that practical. Arkham did say I could borrow a piece of one of these armor sets, right?
Yeah, you did say that.
Alright. I'm gonna... First, thank you, Valentina. That was kind of you.
Of course, it's the least I could do for what you've done.
These clothes were going to become a problem. They were starting to really get in the way. And making me what they call a target.
Yes. How do you feel about the cloak you have now? Is it something, do you want to trade back? Do you want to keep it?
My instinct says it's still better on you that you hold the the Cloak of Protection, unless you want the other Cloak of Displacement back. Dispersion.
I like this cloak.
Then it shall stay this way.
Okay.
Besides, I just sort of look in the trunk. I have plenty of materials I need to experiment with. I need to go talk to Reginald's brother. I have an
Reginald's
idea that I'm
brother?
going to need his help. Yes, he's quite the craftsman.
Interesting. Is he a blacksmith?
No, a magician.
Right, that makes sense.
I think it's their family trade. But he did clearly know his way around.
Yes.
What's it called? He did clearly know his way around the way of magical items, or else he wouldn't have had a magic item shop.
Yes, he did keep going on about his family's stores. What was his family name again? Firebloom or
Archibald.
Embervale?
Embervale.
Right,
That was it.
I should probably remember that.
I mean, you tell me. You're the one who's no High Priestess Valentina. Know how bad it is? I'm gonna have to keep track of all these titles and names.
High Priestess, can you believe it?
Considering today, yes.
Yeah.
If anything,
what a
you deserve
day.
it.
Thank you. You know, Poluna,
I'm going.
I'm really grateful for what you did down there.
I'm sort of happy about it as well. I got to get rid of the voice of murder in my head.
That's good.
Mostly, if Arkham is to be believed. I seem to well, apparently some kind of affinity or something in there that just it just waits for the right kind of power to pop on out.
Yes, he did mention you when I talked to him alone as well. Pretty much what he said, something along those lines, and
Verily concerning.
slightly, but at least if you no longer have the urge to drown people or set people on fire, that's a good sign.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, sometimes a good murdering is required. Just
Of
doesn't have to be
course.
drowning or burning people. There's other ways to do it. Stabbing's more effective.
Well, yeah, that's part of the job.
Speaking of murdering people. Poluna just sort of goes and looks at one of the pieces of armor, like tries to find one that fits him. And starts putting it on. I think we need to talk with Arkham about Kamir.
Probably a good idea, yeah. I don't know how he'll react to it. Kamir said he had drunk from Arkham. I don't know if he was lying, but surely he can't come back now that we got his head.
Poluna just looks at Valentina with the kind of raised eyebrow that sort of says, do you really believe that he won't be back?
Well, I hope he won't be back. Okay,
Makes
let's
two of us, but
tell Arkham
let's
about
just-
it.
let's bring the local divinity in on this one and
Yes.
have some kind of insurance policy.
Good idea.
And I will leave that to you, considering you're his high priestess. As Poluna begins equipping one of these pieces of armor, the one he found that looks best on him, / fits best.
All right. I guess I'll go head back while you get dressed.
Yep.
He walks out of the room. DM, you're muted.
Yeah.
What?
My neighbors are playing loud music, so yeah.
Well, they had this whole conversation. I was still in the throne room with Arkham, I think.
Yep.
Well, while they were doing that, could I have had a look around, see if there were any cool things, like any loot I could like scoop up or...
Absolutely. Looking around the room, you notice that while it is one big open room in a horseshoe shape, there seems to be two, on quotation marks, bedrooms, both fitted with a pond of blood that seems to have slightly drained. And one seems to be very luxurious with pillows of fine silks and cashmere just lying there for you to lie into and just sink into foreverness, falling asleep. Well, oddly enough, you see some familiar cages where you don't find them familiar. You see cages that might have housed some kind of people in them. And the other one that has slightly toned down with luxuriousness, there seems to be more a raw brutality of pure hunting and a pile of gold.
I look over to Arkham and say, "You don't mind, do you? If I were to, help myself to some of this stuff?"
It should be fine, though we do need some gold to rebuild. While we may not need to trade amongst ourselves, we do need to pay sources from outside to help rebuild the city. But you can take
what would you
some of that.
say is a fair amount? Can I make an estimation of how much money is in the pile?
Sure, make a investigation check. I should look over the pile while shouting out into the room and hearing Arkham's voice.
Natural 20.
You have seen
I know
quite
exactly
some
how
gold
much
in your
money
time.
is.
You've seen quite some gold in your time. Like, your family is lavish as fuck, and they do have something similar at home. Just this one bed chamber you open up for with treasure chests stacked on top of each other with gold overflowing. You would estimate this is around 50 to 80,000 gold.
Okay. Halfsies?
How do you know how much there is? I
I
haven't had
think
the time to count.
it's about 50,000 gold pieces. I mean, that should be plenty to, start
I'll
over.
allow you to take the 25 as long as you promise to share it equally between all three of you.
Of course.
I imagine you guys are continuing your adventures together, and seems you've supported
I don't
Valentina in her
know.
cause.
I don't know what Valentina will do now. I think this is what she set out to do. Not sure if she has any goals left, but I will share with them. Sure.
All right. I trust you take the amount that has been agreed upon.
Yes, half, right?
Yes, half of the 50. Yes.
Sure. Just roughly make like a cut that I think is like 25,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
You want to count or?
Make a D100 check. 50, you hit 25 on the nail, and anything above or below will give some variance in that.
Oh, that was close.
59.
You pick out roughly 26,000 gold from the pile.
All right.
And granted, you do so in good consciousness, as you haven't
Yeah.
exactly counted every single coin. You just estimate roughly.
Thank you very much. This will come in quite handy. Mind if I snoop around a bit more? Or?
Be my
I
guest.
saw some very fine cushions on that other side.
I imagine we have to take down most of this castle and rebuild it to not feel defiled by my descendants' actions.
Yes, no. It's best to start fresh and clean, you know?
Yes.
I'll keep looking for like some nice stuff.
Alright. Scavenging the rest of the hunting area, you find some fine pelts on the floor that have been used as rugs, tiger skins, bear skins, wolf skins, some unknown creature skins, just finely displayed around the room. But nothing that stands out in the same way that gold or artifacts might do. Looking...
I'll take one of the fine pelts.
Alright.
Would you say the unknown animal one is also looking a bit more exotic? Or
Absolutely.
I'll take that one then. And I'll take one of the nice cushions on the other side.
What are you, a moving man now? You're just packing down the entire castle and leaving?
I need to live in luxury, man. I mean, I'm royal. I'm nobility. I mean,
Understood.
Luna's
So you-
eye is just going crazy as he feels someone being more of a thief than he is right now.
When putting on your newly found armor, you just feel your senses tingling from something. Someone's pickpocketing nearby. Someone's stealing.
and I'll fancy cushion.
So you're pulling up some pillows as well from the fancy side of the...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Just a nice pillow that I could lay my head on, you know,
Oh my god.
when I'm laying in bed at night.
Walking around that side of the castle, you notice there is something unusual structured. It seems to be some kind of well situated on a dark pedestal with a dark bowl on top of it. There's some green liquid with green gas slowly spilling over the edge.
I'll check it out, see what it is.
As you peer into the pond, you see at the bottom of it, below this greenish, brackish liquid, you see a symbol at the bottom of it carved into the bowl itself.
What kind of symbol is that?
You will recognize it as the same symbol that were on some of the medallions of through Array after scavenging through some of the corpses below. This skull emblem with jagged spikes through it.
Oh. The from what's it called? Sirik?
Very
The
much
emblem
so.
of Sirik? Yeah. I'll shout over to Arkham. Excuse me, do you know what this device is? Seems quite ominous, and there's a symbol of Sirik. Should we destroy it, or...?
You catch his attention immediately when you mention the name Sirik, and in that moment he seems to almost glide across the floor over to you. The only thing revealing that he's moving is the sound of chains dragging across the floor behind him. And as he lands on his feet next to you, looking at this structure before him. I
Is
can't
this some,
pinpoint the nature
kind of-
of it.
Is it some kind of phylactery, or like a scrying bowl, or what could it be? What do you think?
Well, I hope it's a scrying bowl over the other thing. But regardless, we probably shouldn't peer into it. I would take some time once you guys go to sleep and rest to try and dispel whatever magic that might be lying in it. I think it is best not to investigate too deeply. Anything that is related to Sirik only brings misery and forgetfulness.
Alright, I'll leave it up to you. Yeah. I'll be off, I think. I'll go try and find my friends.
He just stands at that bowl structure and continues to stare at it while you leave the room.
At this point, would I have made my way up to the room?
You certainly could have. You find Arkham standing at this punch structure and just with his hands behind his back, looking, contemplating.
That in the... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Valentina.
Oh,
Go ahead. No,
sorry,
you
Reggie.
just
You high
pass me,
five on
that's
the way
fine.
back and forth.
Just walk past me without saying hi. That's okay.
Lord
not
Reginald,
offended.
I'm sorry. Did you think any more of Arkham's offer?
Just too soon. I think I need to sleep on it.
All right.
I do, however, have some gold for you. So, yeah.
Gold.
Yes, 12,000 gold pieces.
12,000?
Yeah, so I made a agreement with Arkham that we could take some of the profits and we'd leave half for him to rebuild. Yeah,
That's amazing.
I think that's very generous, right?
Very generous.
Yes. Well, I'll go find Paluna and give him his cut.
How much did you give me?
12,000 gold.
Is that the correct amount?
Yes.
Alright.
No, wait. It's not. I thought we got 36,000. Was it 26,000? Never mind.
I swear to God, please. I work at taxes. This whole thing hurts so much.
What is? Oh no, you get 8,666.666666
Okay.
gold.
Let's
No.
just ask the accountant. Does that add up?
No.
No?
What? 26,000
not.
divided by 3? Yes, it is.
26.
Oh yeah, 26. Yeah, no,
Okay, well, let's not ask the accountant if that adds up. Let's ask ChatGPT.
you can't subdivide gold coins like that unless you start having digital means to do so. So you'd have to pick a whole number.
Yes. You get 8,666 gold.
Excellent. Oh my god, I'm rich! Gonna buy another pony. Anyway, I'll say thank you and walk into the castle room, the throne room.
I just imagine that you guys are passing through each other and Reginald's just opening his bag of holding like, you want some? And then she's opening her bag of holding. Hey, pour it out.
Tossing in some gold. Pretty much.
Pretty much. Trust
Yeah, we're not gonna count every gold coin. It's just magical transform.
Magical
transfer.
counting.
Yeah.
Alright, Valentina enters the room for the third time.
Yes.
Arkham's still standing there at the pond, pondering.
I walk over to him and I look at the pond. Or well. What is it?
I honestly have no idea. Your friend, Lord Reginald, or Reginald, suggested that it could either be a phylactery or a scrying pond. But I haven't had enough time to dive into the incantations and magics.
I see. Does the green glow of it look similar to the green stuff that was in the basement?
While they're both green in nature, it doesn't seem to be the exact same thing, no.
Okay. Well, I wanted to tell you about someone we had to defeat before we found you. Someone called Kamir. Look up at him to see if he recognizes the name.
He holds for a moment and looks up into the ceiling with his hands behind his back still. I think I have overheard the others speak of someone of that name. Granted, he mostly referred to him as the Madman.
He was indeed mad and a necromancer. And this is actually the second time we've fought him. I thought he was dead, but somehow he was brought back. And now he seems dead again. I don't know if there's ways he can return, but he's a twisted soul.
Well, If he is a necromancer, as you suggest, then perhaps we do deal with a phylactery before us if he is tied to this. But he didn't strike me as someone from within the walls. When they spoke about him, they didn't quite give him that kindness.
No,
They
he
more so
wasn't
treated
here.
him, yeah.
He came from, as far as I know, he came from Eastwatch Citadel, and he worked on experiments. I know he tried to find out how to create vampires. Clearly had an interest in our kind.
Well, I knew that Targon was never really a friend of the necromantic forces in the world. I doubt he would let anyone of that nature live within his walls, at his own will at least.
You know him, the king in Eastwatch?
Oh yes. Long time ago at this point.
Yeah.
Many of us, like you and your friends, walk the world to find glory, to dip into borrowed power, to try and frontier their religion or gain power in other ways. I walked this world once, seeking knowledge for the Raven Queen, with She Who Watches, Tarkon, Iridamus for a while. It's been some time. People have changed from what I can understand.
Yes, Iridamus is clearly behind this vampire hunt that is currently going on.
He was never in favor of the necromantic forces either. That's one thing him and Targon had in common. Something they could talk and drink about night and day. I don't
see.
blame him. The Dampiers were a miscreation, twisted nature, still living people, but not a fate that they deserve.
Yes.
If someone wanted to see the vampires go extinct, I would definitely have some objections to that regard. You know, there are other vampires in the world. I wasn't the first to create vampires per se.
Really?
There are other continents out there with a much more gruel form and shape of what we call vampires. But they gave me the inspiration to create what this continent knows, or well, what the few on this continent knows as vampires. I imagine this Camille might just have taken the same interest that I have in my youth, wanting to create a way to stay eternal. Though I imagine his means and methods of doing so are more twisted and cruel than mine.
Absolutely.
People of necromantic persuasion might have ways to find their way back in the world again. Phylacteries are soul containers that allow people to return once they have acquired enough power. But there are other methods. Wizards have researched immortality and greed for so long. I'm sure your friend Reginald can speak about that. Even he yearns for something beyond his timely death. The world has changed, but one thing hasn't changed. People strive for power. And these artifacts, these elemental nature energy that pervades the continent after every cataclysm that falls upon it. Everything starts anew like a new cycle. I hid from this one. Most of the Western continent hit from the first that hit. The human race has fought against it and now are in the lead of the charge of rebuilding and regaining powers. But I fear that, unlike back in the day when everyone tried to stand their own ground to reach the top, more sinister forces are gathering to claim the powers. It's easier to share between 3 or 4 than it is to not get it by yourself. And I fear that some are using the sinister powers as an excuse to rattle together and chase their own goals. But I need to venture the world. I need to regain lost knowledge. I need to experience if this world is the one that I knew of.
Yes, I'm sure things have changed a lot in the years you've been chained. We had a run-in with the avatar of Mask. He mentioned you, actually, briefly. But
I'm not familiar with this avatar Mask. In what context did he know of me?
he just said you used to be an adventurer.
He's not wrong about that.
Yes.
Did they have a name?
I think his name was just Mask. Or the Pilferer?
Never heard of them.
They seem to maybe keep their true identity hidden.
They're smart for doing that.
A lot of people we've talked to seemed kind of rather worried about him as he had a hold over Darkmund. And he was
Darkmund.
playing some pranks.
Yet another name I'm not familiar with.
It's a... What was it used to be called?
What? Darkman?
Yeah, it had a different name before, right?
Eastwatch Garrison.
It's the old Eastwatch Garrison.
That small village. That one doesn't really suit it as a name, I have to admit. But I guess the Swan family can do what they do.
Well, actually, I hold the deed to Darkman along with my companions.
You hold the deed to a city. That's quite impressive, Valentina.
Thank you.
Perhaps you don't need Breakpoint anymore.
Perhaps not. Although I still worry about the people here.
So do I. I have plans, but plans that we need to rest upon. I will announce to all the vampires my disappointments and my goals for the future. This is not the future I had hoped for the people that I saved. You should find your friends. Sleep in for the night.
Alright. I'll do that. And let me know if you need anything from me.
I just need faith and time.
Of course. Give him a smile
Thank you,
and
Valentina.
I'll walk out.
Hmm.
I'll try to find Poluna and Lord Reginald.
where has
would,
Paluna? Over to you for a moment. As you're equipping these pieces, in total you seem to be finding 4 pieces in an armor set. A chest plate that slightly covers part of the legs, some long leg boots, gloves, and a helmet. And I'm gonna send you the specifications of them, and you can decide what you want to do with that and how much you want to use.
Right.
And as Paluna is equipping these items, where has Lord Reginald been?
I'm going to find Paluna to give him his money.
All right. So as you walk down the hallway, you just hear the latching of some kind of mechanical pieces within the armory, and really not a lot of sound that keeps getting more and more muted as he progresses to equip these pieces.
Do I even have proficiency?
Paluna.
I do. Thank God for that level 1 fighter. Oh, hi Reginald.
You got some new digs.
You could say that.
Very cool. I have some money for you. I looted some of the money from the Arkham's lineage, and here's your cut. There's 8,667 gold coins. Roughly. I didn't count them, but I think should be the right amount.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I will have to spend some of this on your family business, though.
Why?
I'd pull out my longbow. This thing is great and all, but with the amount of things running around that seems to have a distinct knack for not getting hurt by regular arrows, I need an upgrade. And I figured, I have a couple of pieces of the world tree. And
yes,
a couple of
wouldn't you want
from
to?
a god.
I was gonna say you should use that.
Yeah, but I figured, the right person to help me do that would be your brother or you, considering your expertise in magical craftsmanship as a family.
I guess, yes. Not sure if Dorian can do such a thing, but you can always ask him.
Yeah, I assume he's a professional when it comes to magical items, so...
My brother? He's a bit lazy. I wouldn't necessarily say he's an expert, but he is powerful, sure.
Reginald, on this one I think you're wrong about him. Sure, he's lazy, but it's the kind of laziness an efficient man displays.
Maybe. You can ask him, but don't think I would want to travel to Joaquin's Rest at this point. It's a bit close to home.
I expect I'll go there for a minor time, and then it's to Darkmond, where, oh boy, do I have things to do.
I guess, yes. I think I'm just gonna turn in for the night.
I sort of clanked the last piece of armor on and said, before you do that, would you mind coming with me?
To where?
I was thinking the balcony. We had a good view of, everything from up there. I kind of want to see what's going on now that, the show's over.
You mean see if the Paladins of Tyr are advancing on breakpoints? Or what did you have in mind of seeing?
Everything.
Well,
or anything specific, but
I'll go much for a second. Start heading out towards the stairs on the left.
You go towards the stairs, and as you take the first step upon the staircase, you just zip to the very top, finding yourself before this door that you know opens out to the balcony overlooking the entire vampire district.
Well, my human eyes are not made for this. Tell me, what
I
do you
give
see?
you the helmet of Farsight.
All
Use
right.
this.
Okay.
It'll allow you to zoom in.
I'll put them on. Start looking towards where we came from previously.
Are you talking about like down the staircase or up towards the
No,
dance?
I mean like from where the camp of the paladins of the
Right, your eyesight barely reaches to the edge of the Dampier district, and you just
Yeah, I was
notice
gonna
the color of crimson smothered across every single makeshift room, as if a tidal wave just washed across the entire area.
Oh, you can have it back. It's not a very pleasant sight.
No, it's not. This is what we wrote.
Yes. Was there anything you wanted to talk about, Luna?
No, I would honestly just invite you to, well, come to Darkmond. Another town that really needs help.
Oh, I wouldn't mind visiting that place. Seems like a fun new adventure. I mean, I think our business here has almost come to an end anyway, so I'm quite keen to go on a new adventure.
That's the spirit. I want to stay here a couple of days to see how history pans out here. I think it'll be important to witness.
You sure about that? I feel like there might be still a conflict brewing here. The Paladins of Tyr haven't gone away yet. As we are aware, they don't know what has transpired this evening, but
That's
what
probably
if
gonna be
they
you
do
and me
find
problem.
out and decide to attack or something? Yeah?
They'd be dealing with Arkham.
Yes, but do
Besides-
we want to be in the middle of all of that?
No, but I think we have a decent chance at heading off that problem as well.
I mean, I would like to prevent any further clash.
Just listen to this. This is technically true, and pretty honest too. What we did was lead a strike force into the heart of an evil, mad vampire reigns district, and freed a force that they changed up in their basement that reduced the entire army of Dampier to rubble. In the process of which we killed at least one lich. Well, I think that's the academic term for whatever goes on with the guy who keeps reviving himself, right?
Yes.
Several vampires. Your comrades died in glorious battle, at least killing vampires of their own, and the ramifications can be seen everywhere as the entire city is drenched in blood. We could honestly sell that as the victory they wanted. The job is done. The evil is vanquished.
It is what
That's
I
all
was going to try in my dream tonight.
You know, there's an argument to not do that in a dream, but do it in person.
Well, that's gonna be a bit hard because priest Eredamus is not here. I think he's still in Tyr Sanctum.
Good, that'll make it even easier.
Yeah, you want to go to Tyr Sanctum?
No, I just want to go to the camp of paladins outside. I want them to slap a Zone of Truth at us or something like that. Hopefully they'll come up with it on their own. And we tell them, more or less, that we defeated the evil, destroyed the most nasty vampires in this continent, unchained whatever they had kept chained in the basement, that then summarily killed the entire army of Dampier under a Zone of Truth. I want to use their own paranoia against them.
It's quite interesting idea. Let me have a think on it, okay? We'll talk more
Yeah.
of it tomorrow.
Besides,
Maybe
I think
Valentina
you're the
will
one
have
who-
some ideas as well.
Honestly, if anything, I wanted to keep her far away from that whole conversation. Well, as in
Well,
not in person
we would-
there.
Yes, no. We agree on that.
I have a feeling that
Alright.
parading a vampire in front of a whole bunch of paladins of Tyr is a terrible idea right now.
Yes, you might be right. Anyways, I'm off to bed. It's getting really late, so these old bones need to rest a bit.
All right.
Good
See you
night.
in the morning.
And I start walking off.
Luna will then himself head to the throne room.
All right. You find Arkham standing at some kind of punt structure, just looking at it, contemplating.
Penny for your thoughts?
Curiosity mostly. But
I'm used to that one.
Once you make a mistake, you kind of wonder what led to that mistake. You think you pave a way with good intentions, yet you create a horrific nightmare for most.
Well, if I might give you a little bit of a rebuttal. Amongst all the things that happen in this world, everything happens because of someone's choices. Sometimes things happen to us because of somebody else's choices. We don't have the power to choose everything ourselves. It's a sum of choices of everything that happens in the world. You could have had good intentions, but somebody else might not. And besides, here you are. There's a future where you can start changing things. So instead of letting the past chain you too much, perhaps it's time to focus on what you can do next.
Well, I think those plans have already been set in motion by forces that I'm not entirely in control of.
Welcome to the club. Certain smart fellow told me I still have an angry voice in my head that I need to get to work on at some point. Wanting to talk with you about that, but later. Let's rest on today's first.
My first
anything-
long rest in many years. And yet I feel like not wanting to sleep.
If anything, I was going to suggest something a little practical. I'll be honest with you. There are some ships outside your harbor. I have nothing but extreme disdain for the captains upon them. They're traffickers, human slavers, and the kind of people that put my teeth on edge. That being said, they probably hail from Eastwatch, based on everything I've come to learn, where there's a lot of builders and men of material gain. Labor that can be bought. I heard of your plan wanting to slowly rebuild this place, so maybe you can use those to get a word. Besides, I have some contacts. I'm helping rebuild the town as well. Darkmont was ruined from, 100 years of torture. Trying to slowly bring that back to life as well.
Huh. Why are we rebuilding 2 towns when we could rebuild 1?
A good question.
Perhaps it is time for vampires to step out of the shadows. Does Darkmont hold the capability to facilitate a few thousand vampires? Well, I guess now that they're no longer blood cursed, they could be considered normal residents with no
Oh yeah, no, definitely. As long as you guys don't run around drinking blood, that shouldn't be a problem.
No.
More the problem is that it just got out of its darkness. It is a ruined town. If you think this place needs effort into it, no, Darkman's worse.
Hmm.
But it'll also be a safe haven far, far away from, well, just point out in the direction of where Tilted Tears Paladins are. Whatever that is.
I do fear that if it is the same Eridamus that you have been speaking about, or that Reginald has been mentioning, he will not stop at Dampiers. He will see anything created to outlast, well, mortality. Brought to
Hold on, you
ruin.
know this guy?
Yes, it's been some years, but
Look,
I did have a small.
I know this is rich coming from an elf. You are positively ancient in my eyes. And you say this Eridamus guy has a hate thing against immortality. Has he looked in a mirror?
Well, if it is the same, it definitely would go against his own concept and morals.
But I just hate salads like that. Look, no offense, I know you're kind of a religious icon, but there is just a limit to how much of it I can take.
It's good to have some satirical, well, critical eyes upon your existence once in a while, I guess. But you can't deny that the longer you live, the more opportunities you get to make things happen. And if you're Damus, and if it is the same, and he had this idea to get rid of people who go against mortality's reigns, then what is the best method than to live for as long as possible to exact the justice that you seek?
I'm not going to say his practical approach to the problem is bad. I'm just going to say that at some level, hypocrisy becomes so loud and deafening that you should be able to hear it yourself. Pragmatic solutions and ideologies have few things in common, I've learned, but more indifference.
I have a question. You seem to be the more political voice of your group, from what I've heard. Do you know
Well-
others of my kind? Others of Eridamus's kind? Others of power unimaginable?
You can see Pluna scratches his chin. I have some suspicions about people here and there. But, well, there's that guy that rules Eastwatch. Definitely ranks up in the Avatar category, but I don't know if I'd put you up in that category either. There's the masked guy, who was certainly ominous and creepy. Then there was that statue in Joachim's sanctum, but that felt... That one felt a little bit different.
Oh, King Sanctum.
Yeah, I
Huh.
sort of find a place to sit, like a piece of stair or something. Yeah, we did a short stop. It's actually where we picked up Reginald when we were on our way over here and sort of helped a guy named Beer who... He went through a tragedy that far surpasses what most of us would have expected. He ended up being controlled by whatever ended up giving, well... Long story short, we take that one tomorrow. There's a whole tale in it. We both want to be in bed before that happens. But he ended up killing his own people by accident. Well, by somebody else mind controlling him.
Huh.
Yes, like I said. The details of that one later.
He looks at you with a small smirk. Yeah, killing your own people seems to be the trend these days, doesn't it?
I'm looking to break that. But it seems like we always arrive after the fact. And I look at this place. It's kind of sad that the closest success we got was this.
In what
Not
sense?
We saved someone. Something.
You saved
There's more
me,
left here than the rest.
and I think you saved Valentina.
Yeah, like I said, more left than the other places.
I know little of the outer world, but I suggest that if you need answers, then those names you mentioned before would be wise to seek counsel at. If you are on friendly terms, that is. Targon used to be...
Only maybe with the statue.
Huh. Targon used to be a very lively guy. Drinking, never shy of partying.
That man? For someone immortal, I don't think I've seen something more pitiable.
I know he...
Honestly, there was more life in you while you were strangled in chains than there was in him. Oh, I mean, he could move about, but I feel like the very chair he sits on has chained him far, far more than anything you ever were bound by.
Perhaps. Regardless, we should find rest for the night.
But yeah,
And I
take a think
suggest-
about the whole Darkman thing. We have the deed to the town, so it should be not... It isn't very far away. Strategically speaking.
I see.
I'll find somewhere to sleep.
Use any of the beds in the castle? There are quite a few. They used to be housed by guards and members of my family that are no longer around. No one would be mad that you take them.
Oh, that sounds good. Oh, Poluna stretches and starts walking off towards one of the beds.
The last thing you hear is, enjoy the armor.
I plan to, although it's a bit heavy, more heavy set than I'm used to.
Yeah. Such are many things in life. So, are you all heading for rest within one of these sleeping chambers?
Yes.
All right. Anything you guys want to do before you close your eyes?
How are the streets now? Are they flooded?
They're not flooded, but there are definitely pools of blood outside. If you go look, if you open the castle doors to look outside, you will see puddles of blood. And where you would normally see people not hold back from a joyous occasion of drinking blood, many just seem to be standing in a silent crowd outside the castle gates.
Would I sneak out before going to bed?
In what way do you mean sneak out? Are you talking about you want to stealth out of the castle, or do you want to go over to the gate and approach the people standing?
Maybe I wouldn't if there's a lot of people there, actually.
You've never seen this many people gathered in the same place in
All right.
in the breakpoint before.
Then I will just go to bed.
All right. You all turn in for the night and close your eyes for rest. Poluna,
Yes.
you find yourself in a slightly familiar space. You are sitting on the pier in Breakpoint, overlooking the waters, where you see 3 vessels a few hundred meters out on the water. One ship goes down, wrapped by a dark tentacle, pulling it, breaking it, shattering it in place. The second ship disappears in the blink of an eye, and the third ship, in a flash, is turned sideways, slowly sinking on fire. Below you, looking into the water, you see 2, 4, several eyes glaring at you. And you hear a voice, intangible, incomprehensible words in your head. But one thing goes through. Too weak.
Oh, go pound sand, you gigantic tentacly bitch. You had me for a moment there, I'm not going to lie. But I know thee for what thou art. I see thee for what thy be. So get thee behind me, and get thee away. Thou hast no place upon my soul, no claim upon my heart. Thou art naught, thou art evil. Thou art to be denounced, and thou art to be left behind. So get thee behind me, the left side path. Get thee away.
I thought you're a multi-class fighter and not a bard. What happened? Beautiful.
I like speeches.
As you say all that, all the eyes in the water blink one by one, and then shuts, and the dream ends. Valentina, for the first time in forever, you dream, but not of the castle, not of Arkham's prison, not of this dark, empty room. On the left, you see a giant temple of white marble extending tall. You see a reflection of yourself standing there, greeting people approaching the temple, healing them, curing their wounds, mending their illnesses, and welcoming them inside. To your right, you see a path leading into a graveyard where you see yourself fighting hordes, masses of creatures of unknown backgrounds or stories, humans fighting to wrest you down from your high ground, and your friends standing by your side fighting along with you. You see your necrotic energy extend from your hands, lashing out at people, sucking their life force. You find that you have the ability to walk in this moment. What path do you walk down?
Can I stay in the center?
You stand there looking undecided. And the dream ends. Lord Reginald, you find yourself in a familiar, bright, open space, standing on a metallic platform, tilted in your favor. You're by yourself in this moment. Is there anything you want to do?
No, I'll just wait until I see the inevitable face of Erdans show up. At least that's what I'm planning on seeing. If that's even possible.
You sit and wait, and you can't count the minutes or the hours as time seems intangible in this space. But then you hear a giant metallic clang, and you see the weight on the other side give in entirely in your favor, dangling loose. And then you see the statue that was holding the weight in place let go of it and sit down on this marble platform and look towards you, staring.
Here? Is that you? I take like a bow my head. The statue.
Lord Reginald, do you consider yourself religious?
I'm no holy man, but I do believe in the gods, and I've always kept your name in the... I haven't spoken ill, at least.
What do you think of Iridamus's actions?
I think he is misguided. I mean no offense. I know he's your avatar and all, but I think you know he says that he wants to bring balance, and he tries to kill innocent people. These Dhampirs and vampires, they're not evil. Not necessarily. Not that every Paladin of Tyr is good by definition. It's just up to the person themselves.
How do you interpret balance and justice in this world? How do you equal one and not the other?
It's a very difficult question. I think it's... Oh, you have to look inward and try to do the best you can, and if you see evil, you try to do good. And for me, that means I'm trying to do as much good as I can, because I've seen enough evil, especially coming from my family. Trying to balance them out. Although that might be quite the difficult task.
If evil fights evil, who do you cheer on to win?
I guess for the lesser evil. Or do nothing at all. I don't know.
Contemplate these questions. Find answers. The statue gets back up on his feet again.
Oh, wait, please.
And solidifies his place in place, holding the scale. In that moment, the scale tilts massively in your disfavor. And on the other end, you see High Priest Iridamus. Huh, that's weird. I couldn't... So, hi! How are things going in Breakpoint?
Well, there have been some developments. The Dhampir are no more.
Okay,
You're welcome.
Okay, what about the vampires, though?
Oh, they are cured. They are no longer evil creatures, according to your phrasing. Yes, they don't need to bite anyone anymore to sustain themselves. They're just normal people.
Reginald, that's not what evil is. Evil is defined in normal ways of life and not allowing for you to move on to the afterlife. Trying to define what is the road of mortality.
Oh, so you're evil?
Oh no, I will find my end in a day or two.
Oh, so will they? They will die at some point. Just like
Oh
you.
no, I'm talking about of natural means. It's coming, but
Yeah, so will they. They will die of natural means at some point. They're not immortal.
so are
Just
you?
have prolonged lifespan.
Have you become friends with them?
I already told you this before.
No. You Valentina. She's different.
Yes.
I know. But the people.
Oh, I don't know any of them. I'm not friends with any of them.
What happened to the squadron we sent in? What happened?
Well, I did as we planned.
Okay, that's good.
We brought them into the city and set them loose inside the palace, as we discussed.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they didn't make it. We did, however, destroy the whole Arkham lineage. So, plan successful, I would say.
Wait. You see him ponder for a moment. Arkham.
Yes, the rulers of Breakpoint. Previous rulers of Breakpoint.
Arkham. That name.
Oh yes, I spoke with him about you. He said he knew you from before. Sends his regards. He didn't necessarily say that, but I would assume.
In that moment, he disappears from the dream. But your dream doesn't end. The scale slightly tilts in your favor again.
Well, this is awkward.
You hear a metallic clang next to you on the platform. Clink, 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 clink.
Oh.
Looking down, you see a small scale that fits in the palm of your hand. Very much akin to the one you're standing on in the moment.
I will pick it up.
As you pick it up,
Pick.
the dream ends.
Oh.
You all finish a long rest, and you wake up, bright dawn of morning, the following day, well rested, with spells restored and health regained. Lord Reginald, you wake up feeling an object in your hand.
Okay, what kind of object is it?
It's your cock. No.
Hey yo. Hey yo. Nice cock, bro.
I wakes up. Why am I holding my cock?
No, it's not my cock.
Huh? Wait,
It's
what?
a cock. It's Paluna.
Paluna, where you at?
Oh, right.
Sleight of cock.
I'll just look over to Paluna and say, nice cock, bro.
Nice cock, bro.
Yeah, nice cock.
Oh God. Anyway, you see the scale from the dream in your hand.
Nice. How should I describe this? Small scale?
You describe it on a small scale, yes.
Small scale.
Scale issue.
I just imagine Lord Reginald sitting on that scale, going up and down, going like, "Oh, this is
On the
awkward."
small one? Wee! Just go sit on the small scale. Yeah, I put it in my stash and try and see where the other guys are.
Where are the other guys? Imagine you all fell asleep in the same room. Plenty of beds to go around, bunk beds to sleep in. So you look around and you see Valentina a few beds over and Paluna lying on the bottom one.
Did you get the GM message I sent you, Mickey?
Oh, you wrote on Roll20.
Sorry, I should have written Discord.
Oh,
You would not see Paluna in the spell.
okay, Paluna is gone. So
Okay.
from Paluna's point of view, what happens in this moment? Is this something you want to narrate, or is it something you want
Definitely.
Okay.
Paluna would remember the first day he came to Breakpoint, where Valentina introduced him to a Dampier named Michael,
Mikhail.
who fought for the Mikhail, who fought for the troubled and wounded, and would go seek out that house, that place where Michael used to
That
live.
was literally my plan.
easy enough to do? You have an easy way of finding your way around things. And even though many makeshift houses have been tilted over, displaced because of the flood that overcame this district, you find your way to the ruins of what used to be Mikhail's little residence.
Luna would both say a prayer to, well, Arkham and to Tamora, and would look at the body of a good man. Is it just a drained husk, or?
It is bones. Bones in encrusted red crimson.
Luna would look for, well, some of his clothes, if there are any such nearby, and stash them away, and probably grab a couple of bones.
All right. Did I miss something?
No, that's about it. And then
Okay.
he would sort of stroll around, see what kind of, well, devastation was wrought. Sort of sear it into his memory what happened here. Much like he did with the site of the Furbolg's destruction.
The landscape is vast, and the makeshift houses have become mangled into just a pile of debris. Many places, the natural path that carved through this area is gone. You barely recognize the main street that led up to the gate. And there is this metallic of iron in the air. It's quiet.
And then, having seen enough, he'd stroll down to the harbor and just look to the sea. And to what's out there.
As you look out over the sea, you notice that 3 vessels are gone.
But that's where Paluna will stay for a bit. In contemplation.
Sitting there contemplating. As you walk to the pier, you notice that several people are standing outside the castle, and the moment you open the gate, people try to make their way in, but the guards outside would instantaneously close the door, preventing anyone from entering the castle.
I mean, I don't go through the castle to get to the pier, do I?
You go out through the castle gates, but your stealth is so high that even though, you didn't have to roll for that, you just breeze pipe and you see the gates open slightly and it's instantly closed again as you walk out. You make your way through the streets that are empty with puddles of blood that seems to be slowly gathering in small puddles and slowly drying up. It's just eerily quiet throughout this town. But no more rumors, no more people talking behind others' backs, no ambitions of party overdoing what the neighbors did the previous night. Just you and the ocean peering out.
That's where Paluna will stay for a bit. Pondering what his relation to both the ocean, something that's played a very big role in his life, is, but also what's out there.
Lord Reginald and Valentina, you're both awake in your little bunk bed room and noticing that Paluna is missing. Not a rare occurrence at this time. How do you start your day?
Good morning, Valentina. How
Good morning.
was your sleep?
Really good.
Yes?
No nightmares. Well, I did have a dream, and I have an idea.
Oh,
Well, I want to... Well, in my dream, I saw myself on 2 different paths. Feeling like I had to choose one, but I don't really want to choose. I want to do both. And I was thinking maybe I could set up a temple, Arkham, back in Darkmount. Place for people who are suffering. Place for people to find spite.
I see. Sounds like a great idea. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I thought so. How was your sleep?
Oh, you know, the same old thing. Just a big old conference call with Priest Damus, and, well, something new happened actually. I told you about what's happening, right? I'm sitting on a scale, held up by Tyr, and well, I think I spoke to Tyr themselves. It was quite interesting actually. They asked me a bunch
Really?
of questions, and yeah, no, it was
What did he say?
well. They asked me what I thought of Erydamus's actions, and well, like how to bring balance to the world, and what if you have like 2 evils against each other? What should you do? Was a bit confusing, but well, I'll figure it out at some point.
I'm sure you
Do you
will.
have any thoughts on it?
If we're
Oh.
fighting with 2 evils? We're fighting each
Yes.
other?
Yes. What should you do if 2 evils fight each other?
Take them both out?
Maybe. You have to think
Mhm.
in the terms of my god. They want balance most and for all. So
Balance.
how do you balance out 2 evils fighting each other? Quite a conundrum. But I'll figure it out at some point. Don't
Yes.
worry about it.
I'm sure
And
you
then I
will.
woke up with this little thing, and I'll show her the scale of.
Is that the symbol for your fear?
It is. Yes.
Hmm.
It is the same symbol as on the Paladins of the armor, I would assume.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you've seen it on the armor. Paladins of
Why
the.
would you wake up with that? That's so strange.
I think it may be a small gift from
Is it magical?
my god. I believe so. Yes. I haven't identified it just yet, but I will. I'll let you know what it does when I do find out. Okay?
Yes, please do. That's interesting.
It is very exciting.
Well, I look around the room. It seems like Paluna's out on one of his little strolls again.
You think he's setting fire to those ships?
No, I don't think so. He's told me he didn't feel those urges anymore. Although, clearly something.
We should probably go check on him.
If we can even get out.
See if he was telling the truth about it. Yes, well, let's go find him. Let's head out.
All right. I'll exit the bedrooms.
As you both exit the bathroom, you see Arkham standing, waiting in front of your door. Ah,
Arkham. I kind of nod or like slightly bow to
oh,
him.
oh no, please. We have business to attend to, and I think the people have waited quite enough.
Indeed. You-
Should we head out and embrace what might be coming?
Yes.
I imagine you want to stand by my side as...
Of course, it
As
would
I-
be my honor.
Right.
Can I just be there just for fun?
Yeah, fun.
You know, people
Wow.
will think I'm important and all. Just a little vanity thing. Won't say a word.
And I look over at Lord Reginald and just shake my head.
Mhm.
Fine, I'll take a hint. I'll just be in the background, don't worry.
He takes a deep breath, letting out the nervous energy within him. All right, Valentina. As he reaches out his hand to allow you to grab it.
I grab his hand, my shaking goes.
Mm.
Oh my god.
And proceeds to
romantic.
guide you with him. The doors open to the courtyard. At the moment you take your first step outside, you begin to take off from the ground and begin to lift yourselves over the gate, hovering above a large population of people below you. Walls
Can I cast sorry? Can I cast fly and like fly behind?
Oh my
him,
god!
like a
Of
little
course.
bit behind.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Just like
Mm.
10, 20 feet behind him. You know, I'll just fly behind him.
The moment you cast the spell, you see Arkham look behind briefly with a small grin and then looks forward again.
If Paluna starts like seeing this commotion, he'll start slipping into the background of the crowd,
All right.
looking very much like a guard and stealthing like one too.
Yes, you are very much blending in with the nature around you, or the city around you, walking in the shadows of the buildings. In that moment, silent overtakes the city. You can't hear breaths, you can't hear muttering, just pure anticipation of what's to come. Arkham begins to express him. Disappointment, time lost, deceit, forgetfulness. Not the future I intended for my people. And after that, the speech continues, talking about regret, about how he personally has let everybody down in this city. Regret of the promises he had made to grant people a better life. Something that kind of contradicts that people have had a good life in this city, just not on Arkham's ideas or terms of what a good life should be. He had hoped for the city to flourish, for them to be more than the few thousand that stands in the street right now. For them to have gained power not in the sense of strength, but in the sense of wealth and culture, and for them to have opened up themselves to the world, to become a part of it instead of hiding in seclusion, gaining an unfavorable reputation. He has seen vampires of distant nations and continents who live in savagery and solemnly by themselves, fighting off adventurers as if they were the main boss of some kind of adventure. Everything boiling down to him giving the vampires and the citizens choices. On one hand, I offer to keep following my name, worshipping me as your deity, to seek counsel at High Priestess Valentina, should you find restlessness in your faith, should you need counsel, should you need help. Together we will try to build and rebuild what it means to be a vampire in this world. On the other hand, I myself, who have been bound by chains for many years, knows the restraint and the frustration this can cause. And thus, if any of you wish to leave the city, to redefine yourselves, or to build a city of your own where you can continue to live as you have for the many years in the past, I will not stop you. He looks towards Valentina, takes a step to the side. But I believe Valentina might have a third offer that might benefit all. And he gives a slight nod and gives the word to you, Valentina.
I look from him and look over at the crowd, and I say, the city of Darkmond is a torn, ruined city that we are rebuilding. It's not much, but we have ambitions. It is where I want to raise a temple to Arkham for those who are lost and suffering, and I also offer a new home to those who should want it. There's place for you in Darkmond. It's not the luxury you've had here in Breakpoint, but you'll be free to call it your home, to travel, to do what you want with your life. And should any of you need guidance, please seek me out.
Valentina, roll a perception check for me. Looking into the ground, you notice Adrian standing there with his jaw wide open, staring at you dumbfounded. Yeah, you go on.
As I notice him, I kind of slightly smile, and then I say, you've lived a life in deceit, not knowing. You've been tricked to believing in a false Arkham, but now the real one stands before you. I know it's a lot to take in, but no one should live in such conditions. The Dampiers were brought here to be raised as an army for this cruel god who's been trying to deceive us. Humans from across the world who've been brought here and turned into Dampiers and lived in horrible conditions. This was not Arkham's vision. Outside the city gates, the Dampiers are no more. This is time for us to start anew. And we do not need to feed from others. That was another trick, another deceit. The Arkham lineage, who were supposed to keep you safe, were just tricking you. But they are gone now.
Arkham walks back, hovers back to your side once again. Valentina, do we have a date for the traversal towards Darkmont?
Well, we can start as soon as you want. We have means of teleporting directly to Darkmont. I don't know how many will fit through once, but I imagine we could do it several times. I could talk to my contacts back in Darkmont. Make a plan.
All right. He looks over at the crowd again. For those of you who wish to join Valentina in Darkmont, tomorrow morning we gather at the harbor and we'll see ourselves off. Not a word from the crowd, and after a few seconds of letting the crowd take in this information, you and him begin to descend back towards the castle. No words are being exchanged between vampires, but the crowds begin to staber off slightly, begin to return to where they came from, their houses, the inns, whatever business they had to attend to potentially sit there and ponder what to do next with their life.
If I have snuck my way into this crowd, what kind of faces do I see?
You see mostly stares of disbelief looking towards the people in disguise. But there are no hush whispers, no bickering, no angry voices, nothing. Just stares of disbelief from all of them.
Any comments about who that handsome grey fox is in the sky behind the two vampires?
I mean, nobody's saying anything.
Come on, man, just give me this.
Hey, old man, you shouldn't wear a robe. We can see your balls.
Oh, flying a bit too high. Oh no.
That's about what you get from the one human tourist who came in town at this very moment.
I just don't care. I just
You just little dangle.
I'm commando.
Those are your scales of justice. Hey.
One is hanging a bit lower than the other one. They're not
Why
in
do you
balance yet.
Why do you have three? Oh, anyway. So anyway.
You
What do
guys,
do?
if you were looking down once the crowd starts dispersing, you'd see Paluna just be in that crowd and not dispersing.
I'll just float down towards Paluna instead of following you.
It's
Develop,
weird. As you're
like-
looking at towards Paluna, you do see that it is him in his newfound armor, but it's hard to trace his outline exactly, even though he's standing completely still, making himself obvious.
I'll float toward him and... Hey, Paluna. Good morning.
What an eventful start to the day, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yes. Quite so. Where were you off to so early?
Just out and about.
Ah,
I wanted to go visit the Dampier districts.
any particular reason?
I wish to collect the remains of a hero.
Well, I'm right here, so... no need for that.
No, I get what you think, but not a hero such as us. We could probably never measure to that kind of man.
I see. Well, it's very kind of you.
Alas, I got what I wanted and then, spent a bit of time, went to the harbor, had a bit of a look. Ships are gone. I'll deal with those later.
You and those ships, just leave it, Luna.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll just go after the captains. If I ever get the opportunity to. No, it's not something on my to-do list anymore, it's just... if I end up in the same harbor as them, I'll take care of them. Don't worry, I won't
Well,
cause
they're out of business now. There's no need for fresh subjects anymore, so...
So they'll turn their eyes to the next grift and evil scheme.
Maybe they'll see the error of their ways and become upstanding citizens. Who knows? Just maybe give them a chance to prove you wrong.
No offense meant, but you really were born into the wrong town. You have much too good of a heart for someone who's part of the whole Tyr shtick.
Oh, there's plenty of good people there. What makes you say this?
Just that all my encounters with them so far has been filled with bad people. Except you.
Well, I guess I'll just have to balance them out by being that good of a person. Though I'm not sure if I can be.
Weird, whatever's come over you. Well, no matter.
Don't worry about it. I had a bit of a interesting dream, but I'll tell you about it.
Oh, but now you do have my interest. We can take it later. So have you lent any thought to today's expedition for the two of us?
Well, remind me, what are we doing?
We're getting the Paladins of Tyr to turn around ourselves.
Oh. Well, I had my dream, and I told Erdamus what happened, and he seemed to rush off in quite the hurry. So I think he's a bit spooked about everything that happened. I'm not sure if it's the safest place to go into the camp of the Paladins of Tyr just now, but...
Maybe not, but keep a whole bunch of escape ready on you, but everything with this Erdamus guy strikes me as uniquely untrustworthy somehow.
Oh yes.
Again, I hope you do not take offense.
No. I've been sort of trying to play him a bit, you know. Maybe he's seen through my shtick, but
still, I would hate to rely on him getting the job done.
What, him destroying all the vampires?
No, him getting the Paladins of Tyr to turn around.
Why would that be a bad thing?
I don't think he would do it.
I'm not so sure. He seemed quite interested when I mentioned that vampires didn't need to drink from people anymore, and don't think it's necessarily... Oh no, actually he wasn't a fan of them cheating mortality, so yeah, he's probably still after them.
And thus we come around to today's task.
Yeah, well, I don't really know how we are going to convince them to turn around, seeing as they answer to Erdamus and not me, but...
There's an entire army with nothing left to kill.
Oh no,
there's no reason for them to be here.
There's 1,000 vampires to kill.
Yes, and there is streets filled with so much literal blood that you could convince every layperson who doesn't have a god yelling right in their ear that the job is probably done.
We can certainly try, I guess. Yes, sure, why not? What else are we going to do all day?
Exactly. Besides, it would be too calm and easy, and life would just go on if we didn't go do something exciting.
Oh, God, this is going to go horribly wrong, isn't it?
I trust in your ability to get out.
Well, I can, but can you?
I've spent a majority, well, not a majority, but a good bit of my life learning how to live on the sly side of the law and running away from various authority figures. It's gonna take more than just an army to catch me.
Alright. Do you want to set off now, or should we tell Valentina we're
Probably
leaving?
talk
Or...
with Valentina first.
Alright.
She might have a bit of an opinion on it.
Oh, I think she will hate this idea, but we'll see. Let's go to the castle. Oh, the palace.
I assume I descended with Arkham.
You and Arkham are currently walking through the castle hallways. And as you are walking, you see Arkham stop in his movement for a moment, look up and begin to smile. And then he proceeds walking with you again towards the main hall.
I look at him kind of curiously.
How many do you think will attend tomorrow at the harbor?
Honestly, it's hard to say. They're so used to their life here, and most of them haven't been anywhere as far as they can remember. I think they might feel scared to leave, but I also think some people would be excited to leave.
I feel that many have grown content with their lifestyle and no longer know how to maintain themselves within the city. Everything has been provided for them. They
Yes,
haven't built anything. They just live day in and day out in the same ways.
you know, before I left for my journey, I was content here and I didn't see anything wrong with how we lived. But after experiencing the world, it's part of it anyway, and learning the truth, coming back here, this life, it's not really living, it's just existing.
I hope they figure things out.
I hope so too.
For me, at least, I need to traverse the world. I will always be able to be reached out by you. But I need to weigh my options and see how the world has changed.
Of course,
Too many unknowns.
I think it's a good idea after being here for so long.
When time is right, I will find you.
Good.
Till then, help me gain followers.
Of course.
Have you earned your... And in that moment, you hear Reginald and Palula come in from the castle gateway. Oh,
Look, Reginald, all I'm saying is that if we don't do anything about the army outside the walls, they're just going to go do something there on their own. At least we can give them directions.
I look back at them entering.
Reginald, Paluna. We have
Hello.
things to discuss. Let's gather in the
Yes.
hall.
Okay.
As you all walk together into the hall, you see he has already rearranged plenty of things. The beds are gone, the blood funds are gone, the treasure, sadly, gone too. The one thing that remains in this hall is the chairs, symbolizing the thrones, where he sits down with Valentina, and the weird, dark bowl structure seems to be standing in place still. Now there's
Oh,
a long table with many fancy chairs lined up next to it, and a feast has appeared on top of it.
bloody hell, you work fast.
Sleepless night.
Well, what have you decided on doing? I've heard you plan to leave for Darkmoon, Valentina, with whoever wants to come. Is that correct?
Yes, I offered the vampires a new home in Darkmoon should they want it. I hope that's okay with you guys.
Oh, I'm okay with it. I can hear Darkmaster Frey laughing from here.
Why?
Why?
Oh, I just think he was the kind of guy who very much was loyal to the city and found Kamir's antics amusing, and he strikes me as the kind of guy who would find great irony in us coming back with Arkham and the remainders of the vampire race.
Well,
No offense.
he seems like a weird person, but so far been loyal to us as he seems to respect us as the owners of the city. So he can laugh all he wants.
He creeps me out.
Well, yeah.
Seems like an interesting fellow. Can't wait to meet him.
I also really
I do
want
have-
to build this temple for Arkham in Darkmount. For anyone who follows him or for those seeking safety. or-
Right. Do you
healing.
plan on building other temples? Are
No,
people
I really
allowed
don't.
to build temples for other deities? So
I mean, we have a
just
ruined
for
city.
just for Arkham.
There's plenty of opportunity, and anything divine that is not what was there previously will help immensely.
Also, I would like to build a chamber, a comfortable one. I look over at Arkham in the temple. Should you ever want a place to rest, a home, you can always stop by there.
Valentina, while I appreciate the thought, I think you should focus on rebuilding Darkmoon first and foremost before diving into lavish structures. Don't succumb to the same ideologies that Ceric and his mindless followers had.
Yes, I had a few questions about this whole ordeal. You said this Darkmoon is a ruined city. How many people could you bring, and where would they live?
Yes, that is
Also,
quite a conundrum.
follow-up question: if you don't bring someone, you do realize that the Paladins of Tyr will just come into this place after we've left and just destroy and kill everyone that's left, right? You realize that, right?
Ah, yes, the Paladins of Tyr. I look over at Arkham. Do we have a plan of how to deal with them?
I was a message a few minutes ago by a little boy I knew in the past. Perhaps
You don't have to be cryptic with us, Arkham.
Perhaps I should just show myself before this little soldier army of his and prove to him that I am very much real and back again. It should only take a moment. And as he says that, he disappears from sight.
Well,
Oh, no.
I
Just
think
get
we're
up
out
and
of
look
the fun
around.
activity for
Where did he
today.
go?
You just
Uh,
see Paluna just sort of like put his head in his hand. She's like, oh no, not this again. Why do my plans always keep going like this?
Could we go and check?
I
Oh, you think it's too late? It's probably too
No,
late.
no,
isn't
let's
it?
go to the balcony. I'm gonna go to the balcony. I'm going to watch it through the balcony. What possibly could go wrong?
Oh yeah,
Bruno,
you
you-
could,
I wanna
you
watch
could
you.
maybe see.
Run along.
Just follow.
I put on the helmet of Farsight as well.
So you all rush up to the balcony, taking the sipping staircases, and while two of you can see nothing because only one of you have the helmet of Farsight, Paluna, you peer towards the horizon, and you see clouds darkening. And if you had to make an educated guess, you would assume that is somewhere near where the Tears camp is. About a few
Why
hours of
must
travel.
the entrance be ominous? I swear. Why are all these divine beings so dramatic?
Luna, what are you seeing?
What? Come on, it's just, clouds darkening and... Oh, over the camps of Tyr, please do... Look, at least the man you follow has an excellent sense of drama. I'll say that much.
You
I
think
just
so?
take the helmet and pass it over to Valentina.
Oh, put it on and look.
Your vision instantly zooms in and you see these darkened clouds in a general direction of where you might assume the Tears camp is. And as you keep looking, you begin to see sun rays piercing the darkened clouds, and then the clouds scattering.
Wow.
What do you mean, wow?
Tell me, what do you see? I can't see.
Yeah, no, I can't see anything either.
I had to take off the helmet and head it back to Paluna. It's just the
I just sort of
clouds that
pass it over to
disappeared and the
Reginald.
sunlight came out.
No, don't bother. I can't even see, even with this thing. Just
I put it
explain
back
it
on.
to me.
I just imagine Reginald trying to put on the helmet and it combines with his glasses in some wonky way and he's like, oh yeah, I can't even, never mind.
Don't even bother. Just tell me what you see.
Luna puts the helmet back on.
You can just see small plumes of grayish, darkish smoke rise from where you might assume the camp is. And the next moment you hear from below, down the corridor, down the staircase. The show is over. You can...
Oh, Malcolm's back. Turn around and run back.
Down the
I'm
staircase.
here.
What happened? What happened?
Oh, I think I just had to remind that little boy who was his teacher and who was the student.
What did you
You
have to
were-
be so dramatic about it?
Valentina's
were
just smiling and
Erasmus's
gushing
teacher?
at this.
Oh, I stumbled upon Eridamus for a short while some many years ago. Gave him a few lessons.
How
Very,
interesting.
but
Any
very-
weakness I should know of? Any, insecurities or...
Well, he has changed quite a
Action
bit, I
points.
can imagine, throughout the years. But he did seem to love his little sister quite a bit.
Ah, yes.
I'm
He's
just
still
telling you now,
around.
Reginald, that is a terrible way to start yelling at Eridamus. If you love to sit and insecure about it, that's just gonna trigger a war. Don't do it.
Oh, no, it's just... I just love to gather information, that's all. What did you do to over there?
Oh,
You didn't kill any innocent people, you?
No. I stretched
Thank God.
myself for a bit for the first time in a while. Just to see what I had left in me. I am a shadow of my former past.
So,
Well, I wanted to speak with whoever was in charge, and they seemed to treat me as a threat, granted, justified in that moment. But after some negotiation, they decided to take it up with a conversation of someone else. And I don't think we should expect to hear anything from them. for now.
You think they might retreat back to Tyr Sanctum?
I think they respect where I am. If they think that I live in Breakpoint, they will leave Breakpoint alone. And if
That's
they
good.
think I live elsewhere, then they will leave that place alone.
Hmm.
I can't hold my
Amazing.
hand over everybody who leaves the cities that I might reside over.
Well, I think the people in Dark that travel to Darkmoon should be quite safe there. It's
Perhaps.
quite far away, quite inland as well. So, if the paladins of Tyr were to go there, they would have to traverse quite a bit of distance, you know,
Oh, they wouldn't just have to
through
traverse quite a
other
distance.
territories that are not friendly at the moment, if I recall correctly.
Oh, they just picked a fight with everything between Darkmount and, them, namely Eastwatch.
Exactly.
The surrounding area.
Things have changed.
I have a feeling
No.
you're going to be ending up saying that a lot over the next coming months.
I can imagine so. Speaking of changing, what are you up to as a little adventuring troop? What are the next steps for you?
Well, going home. Watching the sunrise in a little better world.
For
And then
now,
setting off on the next impossible task.
there is we've heard a lot about artifacts, the powers one can gain, or what the end goal might be, which sounds quite concerning. We've heard that the goal might be for a god to consume the continent.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Is that something you've
We
heard
could
about?
look into that whole origin of that shtick. I think the elementals play a bigger role in the gods on that one, honestly. It's just what my gut instinct tells me.
The elementals.
Yeah, that's what it all started with, wasn't it? The
You
Great
haven't told me
Cataclysms.
anything about this.
I told you.
Great Cataclysms,
Find out
eh?
everything. I think Arkham honestly might be the best one among us here to tell the story about that, but as far as I
Well,
understand
I
it,
know about the Great Cataclysm, but
as
not
far as I
Not
understand
so.
it from what little tidbits people keep letting slip, the elementals once upon a time were what ruled the land. Something gods happened. Elementals and God got into a bit of a tiffy. And the elementals lost, and since then there's been all these artifacts floating around. Or at least to some extent. All these
And you're
artifacts have been
saying these
primarily used to
elementals are
sort of like create adventurers. And now the elementals are back.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hold on, give me a moment. Paluna just
I
sort
think
of
we are looking
in
at
his
a
trunk
second
and-
elemental cataclysm.
Paluna gets in his trunk and sort of rummages around and pulls out a notebook. Ah, yes, right. There's 3 sacred grounds with the elemental: the Scorched Forest, the Scattered Peaks, and the Drowned Forest. Should be a lot of elemental activities in those areas, according to the intelligence we got at Eastwatch Garrison and Keem's Rest.
Very interesting.
So we could chase a lead down one of those directions and see what in the fuck is going on.
That sounds quite like an adventure I would want to partake in. Sure. What about you, Valentina? What are your plans now that you've saved Breakpoint from disaster?
Well, we might have saved the vampires today, but there is something at play with the gods and their avatars, and I don't know what is true and what is not of what we've learned. But I intend to find out more, and I don't want to stop here. There's more to be done.
Yes, I have to agree with you on that. I'm keen to learn more about these avatars as well. We
And if it
know
is
of
true
a
that
few
a god
now.
wants to consume this continent, I'm not about to let that happen.
Speaking of uncomfortable truths, there's also one last thing I want to look into. If we ever find the time, I would very much request your assistance in looking into what happened to the Wood Elves of the World Tree. It unnerves me still.
We seem to be dealing with a bit of a time difference. Am I correct?
Not just that. You remember that elf back there in the place we met?
The boy that lived in those shabby huts that
He
took
was in
us
his
in.
hundreds. And, well, if I know my age and time correctly, I would have... I don't think... It doesn't add up.
Yes, well, you said it has been what did he say? About 30 years?
A little more than that since I left, but that's
Yeah,
the
well,
problem, right?
But for him it was like hundreds of years, right? Since the World Tree got destroyed, so that is
Exactly.
too big
I
of
know
a
I'm-
difference for it to be normal.
Exactly. So... something's off.
Alright. Is that something you would want to pursue immediately? Or?
I suggest we head to Darkman first with the vampires who want to come, and then we'll take it from there. But I absolutely will support you in finding out what happened to the tree and the elves, Baluna.
As much as that is interesting, there's something else that I fear might be more important. The issue of the elementals is not one we should casually disregard.
You're right.
If there really is another cataclysm on the horizon, I'll have to look past even the disappearance of my own people. And I'm afraid the path towards my own people leads me into the arms of a certain darkness within the depths. And I don't think I'm quite ready to confront that yet. Speaking of which, I may or may not have picked a fight with it in my dreams. Don't worry about it.
Why would you do such a thing?
Because I will casually defy things that try to warp my mind. And non-casually. Verbally. And poetically. And every other kind of defy.
Oh, alright. Just pray it won't come back to bite you in the ass at some later point.
Yeah.
Although we'll deal with it then together.
So, what do you guys want to go do? For today?
Arkham is
Oh,
just looking at you like, okay.
Yeah, we could look into what that Kamir guy's magic bag had. You picked up something from him, right? Reginald?
I did, sure. I had a other question relating to Kamir. I look over to Arkham and would you mind if I inspected this this font over here?
I still haven't found the nature of it, but
Well, that's what I was trying to do. I would like to identify it, and it should tell me what kind of magical imbued object it is and how to use it. Well, yeah. See what the nature is. If it is as I expect to be some sort of phylactery or some sort of place of power for evil necrotic energies, I think we should try and destroy it. Don't you think?
I think Valentina and I should stand ready in case something happens while you attempt this. And Paluna, you try your best to wrestle Reginald away in case. Well,
Luna just sort of concerned looks at the soldier train and be like, okay. Give me a moment, just dives back into his bag. Pulls out like 100 plus feet of hemp rope. And says, tie it around your waist, Reginald.
I'm afraid I'm not sure how. My parents wouldn't let me join the Boy Scouts. So.
I mean, me and Valentina are very good at tying people up. Want to give me a hand here, Valentina?
Yes, of course.
Just give you a
You
curious
said
glance at that
weird.
comment.
I just like whisper to Balloona, like, why do you say it like that? In front of Arkham.
You just see Paluna smiling like absolute gremlin smile.
I fear that this troop might have more challenges than mine in the future, but that said, Reginald, at your leisure.
I will
I'll
start
stand
to.
like ready to tug on the rope the second something happens.
I'll start to identify. Cast identify. So it's a minute cast time. I'll
All right.
type some sigils and say the words and try to learn the nature of the font itself.
I should have said no weaving single incantation. After a minute, few details become clear to you. A name uncertain. The pond of names. The
Pond
nature
of
of
names.
the innate nature of the magic is divination.
Mm-hmm. Do I learn what it does?
It seems to be an artifact, not an artifact, well, in the sense it is some kind of artifact. That when spoken a certain name into, you get to peer into that person's life.
Okay.
It seems to be specifically attuned to already set names.
Do I know who or?
No information given on that.
Well, good news. It is not as I thought it should be. This is no phylactery. It is a pond of names. You speak someone's name and you peer into their lives. Or something like that. Not quite sure about the specifics, but something
way
like a
would you expect them to be?
scrying ball, I would assume. Hmm?
Who have they been watching?
I don't know. It seems there are some names already connected to the bowl, but I'm afraid I don't know who that is. But the Arkham lineage has been keeping tabs on some certain people. I'm sure you could
Interesting.
use this, reprogram it or some sort to spy on whoever you want, if you know the name.
Wait, so how do you activate it?
Well, I don't know. Probably speak their name and peer into the bowl. Something like that. I have honestly no clue, but you should try. Give it a go.
Let's gamble. I walk up to the bowl. Camille.
In that name, and when you utter that name and peer into the pond, the image fractures, as if peering into a broken mirror. And in that moment, you see several characters moving about, attending their own businesses. Some are wandering the streets of busy cities, others are
That's fucked up. That's so
hidden
fucked up.
hidden in dark, secluded chambers. And some seem to be walking about in the world.
You really do have Horcruxes.
God damn it, Mickey, you motherfucker.
Well, I guess I have a... He'll be a recurring theme, I think. Alright, gang, we see Chimers, we kill Chimers. Everybody in agreement?
Absolutely. How do we end him for
Now-
good, though? How many do you see?
Head count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
5. 7?
Oh, shit.
Like Voldemort.
Well, you killed
This
2.
fucking
so
Horcruxes.
Alright. You said that this needed to be attuned to the people in question, or is it just anyone?
Try me, say my name.
Okay, and you see Paluna sort of takes out a notebook and looks into it.
that-
Give me a moment.
It's in the
Lord
shop.
Reginald Chauncey Percival Theobald Embervale.
The pond glazes over, and all you see is the smoke slowly rising from the pond.
Alright.
What does that
so,
mean?
I think it means it hasn't been, tuned to you.
Ah, fine.
Try my name.
Valentina.
The state of the pond does not change.
Oh, good. Be more
Yeah, like
inspiring
a
than me.
sort of small relief sigh from Reginald. It's like
Newt
at
Newman.
least I'm.
As you mention that name, nothing happens.
Who could they be in contact with? Try mask.
Ramond.
Oh, I have an idea.
I say the name of my old captain, Captain Ramond.
Nothing happens.
Oh, thank God.
What about Sirek?
Let's not do that one.
Why not? Or what was his avatar called? The one from Darkment?
He went by the Mask or the Pilferer.
Oh yeah, different deity, my bad. Say his
But
name.
no. Let's not try and spy on avatars or gods with this kind of thing.
I say High Priestess Erdamus when Paluna says it.
The pond changes, and you right now see
Luna
a
fucking
young
shoots behind Arkham the second that name comes out of his mouth.
Reginald. You peer into the pond, and you see Lord Everdamus standing on a balcony next to his sister, performing the morning prayer ceremony within your sanctum. And for a
Beautiful.
moment, you see him turn around and look directly at you, smiles, and turns back towards the balcony and zooms.
Oh, I look up from
Reginald, are you
the.
crazy?
Oh, that guy is so creepy.
Okay, maybe best not to play with this. It's not a toy.
He always seems to know when I'm watching. Thinking about him.
Look, just a hunch or suspicion from me. When you try to spy on a god or avatar, such as, just sort of holds his hands up dramatically at Arkham, they'll know! They'll find out!
Yes,
And
well,
if they
I'm a
feel
curious
particularly-
person, okay? Don't blame me.
And if they feel particularly miffed, they might throw a fireball through whatever you're scrying at them with.
Huh,
That's
I
all
can't quite do
fine.
that yet. I should practice that. Oh, no, I just
No,
don't.
no, no.
Valentina giggles at his little joke.
Mm.
Well, anyways, all this nonsense. Besides that, it is not phylactery, so we can be happy with that. You could use this, I guess.
Hold on, you
Yeah.
thought this was Kamir's phylactery?
Oh well, I saw some green energy swirl around. I thought maybe I heard he was killed before, and I put one and one together and thought he maybe, a lich or demi-lich or whatever.
You're right. That's the same conclusion I got too.
Yeah, well,
But, I mean...
it wasn't that weird of an idea then.
I saw many Kamirs in that pond, which is also incredibly worrying. But I was about to say, if that wasn't his phylactery, then what the hell is? Does he even have one?
Well, it's probably not here. Maybe he's not even a lich. We don't know.
Well,
It was just a theory I was working on, and it is proven false. So,
Well,
there you go.
if
So,
that's not
do
a
you guys
threat,
have...
yes.
What's that, Valentina?
I was
Go
just
on.
gonna say I would like to see Adrian and some of the other vampires and maybe check out what get an insight over what people are planning to do.
Oh, speaking of other vampires, I take my necklace. There's one that hasn't really learned of these events, I think. Give me a moment.
Yes,
Torvald? You there? Can you hear me?
Huh. You sound
It's blue.
familiar. Okay.
Guy who helped you get to Darkman. Your god was false. We freed your true god, dismantled the Arkham lineage, and there'll be a bunch of vampire coming along to Darkman over the next couple of days. Fill you in on the details, then you might be, able to meet the progenitor of your race. Stick around.
What?
I know you heard me.
What?
Well, and that might be a little too much information to get in your head all at once. I'm sure he will be
and-
caught up tomorrow.
Oh, and by the way, you don't need to drink blood. I suggest you go to beer and get something to, help you through the next coming day and exploring these details. He's the guy who runs the brewery, or tries to. See you. Put the connection down. That should fill him in.
Right.
Okay, look.
Cut to the scene of him in Darkman, just standing there looking at his hands covered in
Completely
blood.
baffled.
I couldn't think of any way to, go through all these informations both effectively, quickly, or, without, hitting him all at once with several revelations at once. I think he'll be the guy who... He'll take it better than the other guys, probably.
You could have just, told them we were coming tomorrow and just to sit tight and then explain it in person, but I guess this works
I
as
also
well.
planned to do that, but it's nice to tell people when their god is
yes,
back.
definitely not confusing at all. No.
Well,
He's a
I'll
smart
take
guy.
a little stroll if you don't mind. I look over at Arkham.
don't let me hold you back.
You want some company or just a
Guys can come
little
along
stroll
if
to
you
collect your
want.
thoughts? Alright.
I think I have
You know-
things to ponder.
Yes.
I'll be here in the castle, probably calling Isolde and Dogmaster Frey and getting the logistics ready for receiving a moderately sized town of people.
All right.
Well, the ones would come. And listen about progress in the city and what other projects are ongoing.
All right.
All right. I'll take my leave and I'll be back later. And
So-
I'll follow Valentina
Okay.
on the stroll.
So, Valentina or Reginald, where are you headed in this moment?
I guess first of all, I would like to find Adrian. So I guess the library.
All right. You swiftly make your way towards the library, and as you walk by some people who seem to have things in mind and carrying belongings, they seem to all be bowing towards you and Lord Reginald as you walk past. And you swiftly make your way to the library, and within you see Adrian covered in papers, seemingly having written a lot of notes and currently having 10 books open at the same time and ink spilled over something that he doesn't care about. And just, how do I properly describe this for the future? Future, what? But no, but I need to, and Valentina, no, not Valentina, right? That wasn't her, but no, I gotta find, oh,
Adrian.
hi.
Hi.
Should I? And he tries to get up, and all the papers spill on the floor. Like, tries to bow, but he's not really practicing this. And that's a table.
Sit down, Adrian. It's fine.
Yes, sit down. And he pushes over a bunch of paper and sits down on a chair, and looks at you. So, about the things that I bullied you with in the past, you're not gonna like rectify that in some way, and.
Of course not. Don't be silly.
Oh.
So,
So.
why the big change, huh?
Yeah, no, yeah, my God, what a godlike
Arkham.
people, and you feel this connection, and you can't, and
What do you mean?
I gotta write this down, and he begins to write again. So, can I help you with anything?
Well, I just wanted to check in and see what you've heard and what your plans are.
I'm planning on writing the history, and what are you?
Well, I think it's great that you want to write down what's happened, but you don't have to be in such a rush.
Oh no, gotta write while the memory is fresh. Otherwise, I might exaggerate details, and my master wouldn't have approved of that in any way. But really,
What?
the Arkham lineage that gave us all favors were bad guys.
Yes. Horrible,
Maybe
in
all-
fact.
But we all kind of lived a good life. Now we have to adjust and think of different ways.
Yes,
That's
but
gonna be
Adrian, you lived in ignorance. You didn't know any better.
Yeah. No, but it was nice. Exactly, I didn't know
There's so
better.
much more out there.
Yeah, I know. I'm writing it.
Are you gonna stay here, or are you gonna go to Darkmount? What's your plan?
I mean, can I continue writing the law of this place and our people while I'm at Darkmount?
Of course.
I mean, if everybody else is going, I'm going. But if no one is going, then I'm not going. I gotta be where the people are.
Yes.
You do realize that if you stay here, the chances of an early demise are quite high with the Paladins of Tyr still around. You should
Oh, I
definitely
think-
go to Darkmount.
Darkmount took care of that little problem.
I just give like I look over at Valentina like
Make
like
a
to give her a look.
deception check, Lord Reginald.
Yes, deception. I'm really good at those. Yeah, not bad.
Nice.
Okay, so you might have a point with that. And no one can write the history if there's no one to write, right? That's a lot.
Exactly.
Ah,
Also, would you mind spelling my name correctly? It's Lord Reginald Chauncey
sorry.
Percival Theobald Amberville. Yes. Please write it in full when you mention my name.
okay, Lord.
You want me to repeat that?
Reginald, come on, do you have enough
Yes,
to think about?
It's okay.
This is
he-
important stuff, Valentina.
Can't I just like
Is it?
abbreviate it, Lord RCPTE?
Well, at least write my first name and my last name.
Lord Reginald Embervale.
Yes, that shall suffice for
Okay.
now.
Lord Embervale showed up and begins to ride and proved nothing of importance to the people of the city.
Use
Valentina
you.
saved Arkham and granted the city new.
Without me, Valentina would not be standing here right now.
Valentina, is that true? Oh, excuse me, High Priestess Valentina.
You can still call me Valentina, and well, yes,
Yeah,
Lord
it's
Reginald
just-
was very helpful in the battle against.
Yes, remember all those
Yes.
spells that would have definitely killed you, and I like swoosh, swash,
yes,
and gone. They were, you know,
counterspell them. You did
very,
great.
very heroic.
It was a
And
team
also-
effort.
Lord Reginald Embervale was like swoosh, swash, and stop people from casting spells.
Listen, if you want to go to Darkmount, you can continue writing there, and maybe I can try to set you up with a position. Maybe. I don't know what can be done right now, but
Yeah.
think about
Okay,
it.
so I'll think about it, Valentina. I have a lot of books. Oh God, no, my books! I can't leave all these books behind. And it looks about to see all the cases just stacked with book from like
You,
floor to ceiling.
Well,
Need some
you don't
help
have to
with
make
those?
the travel right away if you don't want to. You can come later,
no.
or you could maybe use a bag of holding for all the books.
A bag of holding. I wish I had one of those. I mean, not even the Wizard Apprentice next door had any.
Do I
Well, how
still
am I supposed to
have
get-
the empty bags of holdings, or did I give those away?
I haven't said anything about giving them away now.
Okay, I'll toss him a bag of holding, an empty one.
Yeah.
There you
Okay,
go.
but Valentina, I cannot fit books in that
Of course you can.
satchel.
It's a bag of holding.
Valentina, jokes are not fun for now, okay?
I pick up like a random stack of books and throw them into the sack to prove to him that they fit, even though it looks like they shouldn't.
Oh. Yes, right away, High Priestess. I'll get to it. And he begins unpacking. One book.
Adrian, calm down.
One book. No, books.
Okay, I look over at Lord Reginald. Let's go.
All right.
I'll let's head to the inn. See what people are saying.
Oh yeah. Could we finally get like something proper to drink? It's been so long.
Probably.
All right, I'll join you to the inn.
Okay, across the street to the inn.
I cross the street to the inn. The inn is surprisingly empty in this moment. Just the barkeeper who also seems to be packing up things at the moment. Oh, we're closing for business.
Oh,
But if there's anything we can help you with in these few hours,
are you leaving?
oh yes. The
Good decision. Good decision.
yeah.
You have some wine left?
Ah, yeah, help yourself. And she points towards some barrels in the far end of the room.
Oh, don't mind me. Just is there any mugs or glasses nearby?
plenty. It just seems to be strewn about. Some are tilted over. They don't seem to be the priority to pack up in this moment.
I'll grab a glass and pour myself a glass of wine.
As you go
Just,
to the wine barrel, you see the engravings in the wine barrel saying NN.
And?
NN.
What's that mean?
Not nice.
You pour yourself a few glasses of wine and enjoy that. So, seems to be the general idea that people are leaving town. Not everybody is certain about this whole promise to leave to this new place, but it seems to be the better option while people decide what to do in the long run. This city does not seem safe at the moment.
I think that's a good idea. And from Darkmond, you can plan your next steps.
Oh, you know the name? Oh.
Yes, Darkmond.
Oh, okay.
Did you forget?
Who are you?
I'm Valentina, High Priestess Valentina.
Now that makes a lot more sense. Pardon, I apologize since he begins to bow.
No, that's not necessary.
Sorry, many things happen and faces and names go by quickly.
Yes, of course.
So, if there's nothing else I can help you with, I'll be joining at the pier tomorrow.
Excellent. All right, thank you for
No.
information.
Yes, seems to be most people. Yeah.
Wonderful. I'll look to Reginald. Are you ready?
I'll refill my glass and head out with Valentina.
It's a fine grape. Excellent taste.
Yeah, any hints of blood or anything? Just
Nope.
actual wine. Okay.
Actual wine.
Good.
So-
You will
Paluna.
really enjoy this bit of luxury that is so missed over these last weeks.
Back to Paluna. Do you want to abbreviate the conversations between you and the people in Darkmond? Yeah.
It is just absolutely logistics, the conversation. It is purely, yes, we're probably going to have a lot of people. Yes, they're vampires. No, they don't drink blood anymore. A whole bunch of things happened. May or may not have sort of saved the city, or at least the people in it, but now they're going to have to move, and they're all going to move to Darkmond. Yes, I know we don't have enough houses. They're going to have to be put in work. We might be bringing a pseudo-divine entity that might be able to help with some of that. Take a look at that when we get to it. And just like rattling off that, like, also I have funds that needs to be spent, about 10,000. I'll be just coming back tomorrow at probably blah blah time, and blah 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 blah.
All right. The general answer you get back is that they are currently clearing rubble throughout town. That they have cleared quite a few streets at this point. Many adventurers have visited the town over the past few weeks. Some hoping to help, others hoping to seek treasures, and many have been scared off by a seemingly big red dragon. The auction house has been unable to provide any kind of service throughout these weeks because no adventurers of higher wealth has joined, so it hasn't generated any profits. But the inn and the general smaller marketplace that is sort of being established has generated some profit over the past few weeks. And
Also... Yeah, go on.
The last question remains that if you're coming from a different town, are there any materials you can bring with you to help rebuild?
I would say back that I would offer from my own purse that I have like 10,000 gold now. I would offer triple pay for clearing rubble if people can get off their ass and do it. Like try and get some big stuff moved in the short term. And I will absolutely go scrounge up every single bit of loose material I can get a hold of.
All right, you're scavenging Darkmond. Breakpoint, you're starting to peel down the wall.
No,
like, we don't
I will.
need this wall.
I will actively inform Arkham of like, oh, by the way, this and this.
We're stealing that wall.
Do you
we're
have
stealing that wall.
do you have anything you really want to bring along? And B, could you point me towards the nearest group of vampires you think are sympathetic to the cause? Like Paluna is purely in practical logistics mode.
Arkham directs you to the armory where you find your own armor pieces and says that they are free to use if you're abandoning the city entirely. And the bed bunks that seem to be in fine condition, along with these sheets and whatever, can be brought with you. Aside from that, any materials that seem to be left at the pier and whatever the different stores that are not privately owned can be brought with you.
How much are you willing to say I'm able to carry in my light courier trunk? Like, when is it too much?
Probably 10 armor sets will be manageable.
Yeah.
And that's about it. If you, I imagine you're prioritizing from highest to lowest value. So the armor sets are definitely the highest ranking on that. So maybe you can fit in an apple or something here and there if you want to bring that with you. But
I'd go and list the rest of the guard that are still sort of like probably ambling about, might not really be sure what they're doing, and sort of be like, all right, to those of you that are moving, do you guys want to help me actually prepare for this move and go do logistics and go do things, not just sit around shell shocked by all of this?
Did the few guards that are still suited up in armor attend, seeing that you're wearing the same armor and recognizing that you might have been part of the troop that went in with Valentina the night before, having come out victorious once again? They do not abide your command one-to-one, but they follow your guidance.
That's all Paluna wishes, and other than that, it is basically keeping in constant contact with the guys back at Darkmond and just logistics.
Doesn't Darkmond need some guardman?
Honestly, I think even the guard was kind of fucking
Jimmy looking for them. No?
Definitely. Jimmy was looking for a loyal guard, and there might be an opportunity here.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
Also, on a different note, I don't think they're ready for their captain to be a literal dragon.
What? I mean, why not?
Fair enough.
You're just in your own deity, and then you go to the next city and see a red dragon, and you think,
why not?
No, this is where I draw the line, guys. No.
Fair enough.
All right. So, anything you guys want to do throughout the day, or do you just want to let the day go by as people seem to be packing up town? For the
I
most
would
part?
like to go to the Dampier district.
All right. The gates seem to be seemingly standing open as you approach the Dampier district, and there don't seem to be any guards around in this moment.
Alright, I'll just walk out and look around a little bit.
You see the same vision that Paluna saw earlier with the makeshift houses that seem to have been pushed to the side and have bundled up together, no longer resembling houses, but more so resembling scrap. And the scent of iron, of blood in the air, and crimson red covering both dirt and scrap material.
I'll make my way to Mikhail's house.
You make your way there fairly easily, even though these streets seem to have been shifted. Make my way. You find the ruins of his makeshift house. You notice fresh footprints in the ground, where some blood seemed to have sunk into.
I just walk into the makeshift house and look around a little bit. Is the remains still there?
The remains are still there.
Is his skull still there?
I only took some of his bones, not his skull.
I mean, yeah.
I'll bend over, crouch down to the floor, and I'll touch his skull, and Valentina will just say, "I'm sorry." Does he have any belongings that Valentina would recognize? Something he would wear or something like that?
Nothing aside from his scrap clothing.
I hope you find peace, and I'm really sorry that I had to do this. Hope you forgive me. And she'll get up and get out.
All right. Anything else before the day comes to a close?
I would try to find Arkham in the palace.
You see him standing at the pond, and you hear whispers coming from the pond. From him at the pond.
Can I hear what he's saying?
Make a perception check.
Yes, that was definitely to be expected. I knew that was gonna happen, and it happened. Perfect.
You hear just
Fucking hell, man.
you hear nothing. You kind of just
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll cough loudly.
Reginald. Yes. Sorry,
Hello.
I was just going through some names of.
No worries, I
Past
didn't hear
time.
anything, so don't worry about it. I had a question. Your blood that you gave me, how very tempting your offer was. I think I'm going to not consume it. I do have a question, however, on how to use it. Do you know how I could infuse this blood into an item?
I would suggest finding someone who is capable of enchantment. As a
Are
blood.
you?
Oh, no. That is way beyond me. I am but a humble cleric.
Okay, so. Alright, another question. You're familiar with artifacts, right?
Yes, borrow power from entities of. Yeah.
Yes, like your blood, right? Borrow power.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the concept of consuming artifacts?
Yes, absolutely. Targan was a fan of that.
Okay.
He relied pretty heavily on that to gain power, whereas I found my own way to grow.
Well, now that you've consumed Paluna's artifacts, I thought maybe you have a better understanding of how to consume artifacts yourself. Is that correct?
I think you're misunderstanding what happened down there. I didn't consume the artifacts and this essence. I made them a part of me. I changed the essence of them. I do not live off of borrowed power. I make my own power.
Ah, interesting.
Whenever a vampire is born, I have to sacrifice a part of me to create them. That is why Ciric could never create anything like I could. What god of big egos and big ambitions would allow for any creation below them to be a part of them, to give them the same opportunity to grow beyond their own means? That is the difference between what I create and what he created. I do not fear Valentina or any other vampire growing stronger than me.
I see. Does that also include these new vampires you were talking of? Those created by more natural ways? If you know what I'm saying?
If you're referring to consuming the blood.
Oh, that's not what I'm referring to. You said
Oh,
vampires could be created in more natural ways, and as you see, Lord Reginald like raises eyebrows like.
I don't know.
I have also require you to
no
give them something of you.
No, I hope my hopes and ambitions are that whatever two vampires create together no longer requires my intervention to grow strong and healthy.
That would be something, wouldn't it?
It would be beautiful.
Well, yes. We strayed a bit from the subject, but
yes.
I was wondering if you could help me consume an artifact.
Oh.
Is there something you could do?
Yeah. Let me ponder how I would do this. I saw how Targon did it. I guess I could try and absorb the artifact myself, and then before make it a part of me, I could send the flow of energy to you instead.
Are you sure that would work? I would hate for you to consume my artifact and for me to lose out on it. As selfish as that sounds.
No, I understand your concerns. It's new to me. So if you want a reliable hand to do it, I should just
maybe I'll look for someone that is an expert at this.
That's probably for the better.
Yes, don't worry about it. I thought I should ask. You seem like quite a powerful being, but
I appreciate it. But those borrowed powers, they come with a risk, and I've seen many friends and foes succumb to them. So.
Oh, I've experienced them firsthand now, and well, between you and me, I'm quite keen to learn more about them.
Just know that once you reach this step, you will know what that means in time. But once you reach that step, stay yourself.
Yeah, whatever that means. Thank you for your audience. I'll see myself out.
He turns around again and you begin to hear whispers at the pond once again.
Anything I can hear this time?
Try a roll perception check.
Okay.
Okay. You hear the names. Goldfinger. Heavy Swing.
What? Heavy Swing?
Heavy Swing. You hear Alatra. You hear Aliandra. Hashira. Tyrannus. Camora. Lilias. Geralt. Targon.
Damn! That's a lot of names.
Like browsing
also
through a phone book. Oren did a backflip out of the car.
Oh, internet died. Oh
no.
Sorry, what was the last thing you said?
It's more akin to hearing someone going through a phone book and crossing off who is no longer available to be called.
So what was the second name again? I couldn't really hear. Heavy
Swing.
Heavy Swing. Just as I think it should be, son. Heavy Swing. Yep. Okay. Interesting name.
Named it after my own cock. No,
Hey yo! Holy damn!
and anyway, so,
Nice
yeah,
cock, bro.
thank you. You too.
Okay.
Internet died for a moment there. I'm on from the phone, muting myself mostly, unless there's something for me to talk about.
Yeah, no worries. You're under attack. You're at half health. You're bleeding out. Perfect for the
Damn,
night to cut
robot
out.
noises.
Yeah. So, anything else you guys want to do before night comes to a close?
Not me.
Yeah, no, not really.
All right. And I'm just ruling out Oren because he'll be talking through a microphone through a webcam. So,
No, I mean, I'm through a headset.
Huh?
It sounds okay, right? It's not completely.
No. It sounds awful.
Oh, it's clear at least. It just sounds different.
let's see, we all have different standards. That's fine. Anyway, I imagine that's how Oren sounds whenever he calls someone with sending. Yeah. Anyway, so the night comes to a close, and the fated day begins for all of you the following night. None of you visited by dreams, but all finding heavy sleep, knowing that the next day might be a big step for a lot of people. The day dawns, you all find yourself within the same sleeping chambers as the day before. And as you wake up and begin to leave the bedchamber, once again you are met by Arkham standing in the doorway awaiting.
Why is so creepy, bro? Watching us sleep.
We are so back.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Welcome back.
welcome back.
Arkham stands there and greets you and asks, "Are we ready to say our goodbyes? Mostly you, Valentina. I think this might be a closure of a chapter and a beginning for something new for many."
Yes, I'm ready. It's been a long time coming.
Not
Well-
too long ago.
To sort of make sure logistics go through, I would just, when you guys are ready, send me through early, and I'll get to work on the other side. I assume since there's an entire town of people, it should be wise to have someone on the other side helping along.
All right.
All right. As you exit the castle following Arkham, who is taking the lead, a large crowd of people are gathered outside with sacks and pouches in their hands and on their backs, awaiting for this parade towards the harbor to begin. Arkham slightly hovers from the ground, flies up into the air to look around at the people who has gathered, making a quick head count, brings forth a small smile, and begins to fly off towards the harbor, and people begin to walk in that direction. Are you guys going to go ahead of the troop, or are you going to blend in with the people?
I'll go probably right ahead of the troop.
Go ahead, yeah.
Can I make? Can I see how many more or less showed up?
It's hard to tell. You can tell that the streets are full,
Alright.
and you can't see the end of the parade of people. Looking back, a lot. As you close in on the harbor, you notice many people have already gathered, standing and waiting. There's a murmuring going on. Not something they're trying to hide, just the general vibe of curiosity and anxiety, knowing that not many years ago it would be rare for one vampire to leave the city, and now everybody at once are about to leave. Some find comfort in the majority, while others can't help to soothe the anxiety building up. Many are looking back at the city and the castle walls and the castle looming above the city, getting slightly emotional. But many have come to the same consensus that staying here is not something that they are capable of themselves. Not capable of protecting themselves from danger, having relied too long on the Dhampirs, frightening off any bandits or riffraff that might cause a havoc. Of their faith having been crushed, revealing that what they thought was real in their life, that they lived, has been an illusion for the majority of their existence. Nevertheless, they look towards Valentina and Arkham with hopes in their eyes and anticipation. So, Valentina, how do you start this off?
I will pull out the deed and I guess I would stand next to Arkham and then I would open the portal but let Poluna go through first.
Poluna, any your final words before you swan dive through the portal?
You guys in Darkmond.
And with that, the ground begins to tremble around the portal outline, and Poluna disappears through it. The vampires seem hesitant to begin with, but looking around, seeing one courageous soul step forward and follow through, many more seem to be gathering and closing up, causing a small line to form, leading back into the city, making a head count as the hours go by of you reopening the portal to Darkmond and people jumping through. You gather that most of the city has actually joined you on this endeavor. If there are any souls remaining in the city or who have chosen a different direction to begin with, is uncertain.
I would like
Would you
to
glance-
look out for Adrian to see if he showed up.
Looking through, you definitely see Adrian closing in through this line with all his papers and bag of holding in hand. Some papers he deemed too fragile to shove into the books and papers in the bag. Looking at you, giving a nod of comfort and security as he walks through. Most of the day goes by performing this endeavor, and all that remains is you and Lord Reginald.
Has Arkham gone through?
Arkham is looming above the portal and not going through.
Right. Arkham, what is your plan?
I will go through with you. I will say my farewell to the people and ask for them to have faith in you. And then I have some old friends to visit. I spoke a few names, and some replied. Now I need a recount of history that I've missed out on.
Okay.
I didn't mean to, but I may have overheard you speak some names into the font. Who were those people we're talking about? If I may ask.
Former adventurers, former friends, some enemies.
Did you see
Hoping-
anything special, anything in particular?
As most of my
Anything we
friends
should know?
are, they are capable and some of them are still around, have achieved higher status that I could have hoped and imagined for them. Targon, Eridamus, many more. But there are things that are uncertain that they could not answer through this device. Therefore, I have to convene and exchange what we know. So,
Would you keep us up to date if you were to find anything? We need to know, pertaining to this whole Avatar god consuming the lands business.
I will try.
All right. And with that, I'll step through the portal.
All right. With that, he steps next to you, Valentina, and walks through the portal, holding you in his hand.
Oh, so cute.
Oh,
You all
Lucas.
reappear, one after another, at the harbor of Darkmond. A familiar sight, though a lot cleaner than you remember it.
Oh,
Granted, this city image has not been updated quite yet, as that would seem redundant, as the city is far from rebuilt at this point. People seem to be gathered in crowds, and a lot of spectators are watching what's currently going on. Spectators, some of you recognize from having stayed from the well, people you met on the harbor walking back and forth, and a lot of new faces that don't seem to be around here who are just as taken aback by the environment as they are by the horde of people who are emerging out of thin air before their very eyes. A massive crowd that seems to be taking up the entire street and harbor at this moment. And one tall, familiar figure standing in the midst of all of them with a large, wide grin, looking down at Paluna, who seems to be busy at work, logisticking and directing people. So, the irony.
It's not lost on me, Frey.
So, we have cleaned up quite a few alleyways and streets, closing in on the castle and the church. The question is, what do we do with those? The castle, the church, the well, the clock tower, the fighting pit.
Valentina, is there such a thing as reconsecrating things and, tearing down what's on top of them and rebuilding? Is that something you know anything about?
you're asking me?
Well, you're the cleric.
I haven't built anything in my life. But I think we could probably tear down the church and rebuild it as the Church of Arkham. When we get to that point, of course, we need to provide the people with their basic needs first.
Fighting pits, that's a big open arena, right? And, maybe I need to take a tour and look at the remainder that needs to be cleared up. Also, yeah, I think that's wisest first.
So what's the plan? Where do you want to house these vampires for now?
Well, excellent question considering the city's half in ruin. It's going to be a bit touch and go to start with.
How about the auction house? It should be pretty much empty.
I look to the dockmaster and sort of raise an eyebrow in the kind of, are you okay with that or no? I think we should respect the entrepreneurial business of our dear dockmaster here and keep things out of the auction house if he doesn't feel like it.
We
owe him at
probably
least that much.
house maybe a few, maybe 100 if they're sleeping on the floor. But
Well, we need
You
somewhere
know-
to temporarily house them until they can find the other, more permanent housing.
Well, why not in the church itself? That's a big building, no?
It's in ruins.
And
Okay,
it's as
so
close
we-
to cursed as anything gets in this town, except maybe the castle. Or would that go to the well?
So
Honestly?
you expect these people to sleep in the streets then?
Well, how much housing capacity do we have that's unused from the recent rubble clearing?
we have about 25 small houses that suit a small family. Granted, they are not quite rebuilt, they are just more so cleaned out. But you could probably cram in a few hundred in those. But these people seem to have had finer living standards from where they came.
Absolutely.
Yes, well, they will have
Beggars can't be
to
choosers.
deal with less, yes.
I see what I have to do. How many vampires are there roughly?
About 1,500.
You guys didn't think this through.
Ladies and gentlemen of Breakpoint, may I have your attention for a moment? Pluna sort of steps into a place where he's in clear view of everyone, probably on top of a box or something.
And as you step on the box, you feel that the box begins to lift off the ground and lifts you higher up. So you're having the same height as the Dogmaster in this moment. Better?
Welcome! Thank you.
Hmm.
Welcome to Darkmont. This place has seen war, desolation, famine, curse, and evil. It has recently come out from its cursed times and is being rebuilt. Here is where you will be able to make a new life for yourself. But it won't just come to you on a silver platter. We will have to work for it. Not just you, not just me, all of us. Many houses here are run down, shelves of themselves. Many buildings destroyed, waiting to be rebuilt. It's a city empty and wanting life, and only through life shall it relive. Much like you have come here, so has many others. It'll be tough for the first few weeks. It will not be glorious. It will be filled with hard work. But given time, patience, and a lot of money which we have, this place will become home. It will be like nowhere else, and it will be ours. But I need you to lend me a hand in this, and I need you to be patient with a trying time. Some of you may be forced to sleep together. Choose among the clans and groups you have formed. Find houses. It will be cramped at first, but as we expand and rebuild and focus our effort, we shall be able to create better living standards, bit by bit. This will not be given, it will be earned by all of us. For now, seek what refuge you can. For those of you that cannot find refuge, come speak with me. I'll be around here in the harbor. I will find a solution. And Godspeed to everyone. If you feel like you lack something to do, go help with clearing out new houses or rebuilding old ones.
As you say that, they all turn around looking at Valentina and Arkham, and I want you to roll a persuasion check. Paluna.
Yep. I should have played a bard, or a warlock,
No! What else? Like, please roll high.
They sort of just look at Valentina and Arkham, just waiting for them to say something.
What Paluna said is true. It will be hard work, but together we can build something, a home. And from here, your life will be your own. You don't need permission to leave or come back. It will be hard work, but we can do it together.
I sort of just whispered to the Dockmaster. I feel like I'm really not good at these speeches.
Mhm. Well, you have a brain for politics, but every politician is met with criticism. You just need to work on it. Got this.
I think I'll just prove myself with action instead. It's the one thing all politicians seems to universally fear.
I would also like to point out that there is a dragon in this town, but don't worry, the dragon is friendly. If you see a red dragon roaming the skies, do not be afraid. He is kind, and he will not harm you.
People begin looking up into the sky and looking around with no signs of a red dragon, shrugging their shoulders, looking up at Arkham. They begin to mutter between themselves and slowly begin to stave off, to each their own. You see some begin to speak in groups. Some are speaking loudly about needing directions of what to do. None of them have done any labor in any of their time that they can remember. Many not remembering their past as either a craftsman or a fighter or any kind of artisan in any way. Just kind of looking helplessly about, not knowing how to even help themselves begin this rebuilding of a town.
Luna will identify these lost stragglers and try and find some adventurers that have been doing this for a while that clearly know what they're doing but could need some manpower, and be like, you guys, this guy, listen to him. He knows how to rebuild things. He knows how things works around here. Try and assist him. And tell the adventurer also, don't give them too complex tasks. Think of them as carpenter's apprentices, or like apprentices new to this. Raw manpower.
Alright. As you go through doing this, Arkham and Valentina just overviewing the whole situation. The general response is gold. And as you've gone through all of these, the total request for gold for this endeavor is about 2,000 gold, divided over nearly 1,000 in population.
I will pay it out of my own pocket.
All right.
Luna won't even blink at this. If anything, he'll probably give a gold extra to most.
Noted. So mark off
There's
3,000 gold.
I've marked off 3,000 gold. In general, Paluna's policy to this whole situation is spend generously. Give adventurers incentives to help, give people incentives to get to work. Don't hold the money.
And that seems to be working quite favorably for you, as people seem to be finding ways to go about their new life, helping clearing out streets, and suddenly having nearly 10 double the current population of Darkmount by aiding this new vampiric force, this sleepless workforce who can work night and day with only little sustenance. While it's not a small clan of druids who can help regrow the patches of green around town, it is definitely a force that can be taught, that can be directed, and who has found newfound hope in a recently proven deity.
Yeah, if only we had some druids left, but someone decided to kill them all off.
Yeah, Beer, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
Valentina,
Definitely decided
Yes.
standing next to you is Arkham. You hear a sigh of relief from him. He turns towards you. I think my people might be in better hands than I thought they would be. For a moment, I thought I would have to meet the same fate as the Dampiers.
Really?
But if they can adjust, if they do not cause trouble, I will allow this mistake to redeem itself.
They were living a very different life, very sheltered life, but I'm happy to see that they're willing to change and they're trying. I wasn't so sure.
Valentina, I will allow you to take the lead from here. I have old friends to discuss things with.
Okay. Thank you, Arkham, for everything. Will I be able to contact you should I need to?
You are a cleric and I am your deity. Just pray.
Yes. And I'm at your disposal whenever you should need me.
He begins to wander off. He turns around one last time and nods in approval with a big smile, looking towards you.
Smile back at
And
him.
as he turns around, his outline begins to fade and he disappears from sight.
Oh my god, he was so cute! Just kidding. And Tina just like, dear diary, today Arkham smiled at me.
He's so handsome. One day I will marry him.
He told me he could make babies happen.
Oh, oh, yo.
She'll turn around and join. She'd probably look for Paluna and look at the vampires she can see and what they're doing and make herself available, approachable.
You end up spending most of your day mending small wounds from accidental hammering and sawing into fingers from experienced craftsmanship. But nothing a little cure wounds and healing word here and there can fix. I imagine Bruno spends the rest of his day guiding, paying people, and initiating projects.
Yeah, and himself even working if there's like a need for some practical demonstration or just helping out a bit between things. But I imagine Paluna has everything. Like, he has enough things to do to keep going. And will eventually, as it becomes night, crash out wherever Beer's brewery is, like go there. Wherever Beer has set up camp. Sorry, Opa.
Reginald, what are you doing? I think notably for Reginald, you would have noticed this tall, shadowy figure standing next to Paluna, along with a younger, dark elf-looking person that Paluna is also convened with, referred to as Isolde Ravenshade, and another human named Madame Silkenhand, continuously convening between those four and Paluna reaching out to people, handing out Leary paychecks and sending him off to work.
Think Reginald would, introduce himself to these people that look more important than all the other people.
Notably, standing.
Obviously, explain that he's of a noble origin and see if there's any connections to be made,
Ah, Your Sanctum. We had a few crusaders from your place around here, though they did make very good friends with Valentina and Paluna.
You had some paladins of Tyr?
Yes.
Oh, please enlighten me. I'm so curious.
Oh, lively bunch got themselves into trouble all the time and made quite the enemies out of your friends
Hmm.
for some time. But
I
that's what
see.
happens when they kidnap one party member from the other and vice versa. And when you don't convene that you found a dead party member in a chest in a clock tower.
Oh, how scandalous. I'm sure there's quite a big story behind all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask, what do you do here in this town? You seem
pardon
quite
me.
quite a refined man.
I am Dockmaster Frey, a humble servant of the lords and ladies of the city. I maintain the guest list of all who enter. Been quite busy with these many new guests, but I think I have them all written down. And I take care of the auction house where we sell artifacts of importance, people, animals.
Any artifacts in possession at this moment?
Only what Lord Paluna threw lately.
Well, if you were to find any interesting artifacts, be sure to let me know. I'll pay handsomely.
As a guest of Paluna and Valentina, as long as you can vouch for gold, I will make sure to come to you first.
Oh, gold should not be a problem, I think.
If you need any services, either binding to an animal or a person, or even an artifact, I will be at your disposal for a small fee.
You help people consume artifacts? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Oh, I am very much in need of such services.
Oh, I sense that you are new to this endeavor. Are you familiar with the conflicting natures of elemental and divine properties?
I am not. Please enlighten me.
Well, the short and the long is that don't do both. You'll explode.
Are you serious?
Oh, quite so, quite so.
Oh no.
Imagine housing Arkham and the boy Eridamus within you at the same time.
Oh no. How terrible.
So anyway, yes, artifacts. I see that you're in possession of a few.
Oh yes, I have. I have these pairs of daggers. I'll show them the swan song, so.
Beautifully crafted.
Yes, yes. I also have these elemental artifacts. This robe and this fan. These belong to a friend of Paluna and Valentina, but I managed to procure them.
Do you wish to consume or sell?
Well, I would prefer to consume the daggers, I think.
I see.
Is that something you could help me with?
Easily enough. 200 gold and the service is yours.
That's nothing. I'll toss him over 200 gold.
His long, spindly hands grabs onto the gold midair, like plucking one coin at a time. Thank you. I sense that you're also a studious kind of person.
Oh, definitely.
For some coin, I can teach you some naughty tricks.
How much?
Oh, that depends on the difficulty of the spell.
What do you mean?
Well, the more power you have to put into it, the more difficult it is to learn, but with some guidance from someone like me, it should be fairly quick.
I don't understand.
Well, I have this nature of a spell. He begins swirling his hand midair, and you see a small black hole materializing in the spot that he's swirling his hand, and you feel the sensation of objects slowly being pulled nearby, small rubble. Now imagine this on a much grander scale.
You mean to tell me you could teach me a spell?
Oh, many of these nature's forbidden arts.
I mean, who do you think I am? Of course I want to learn this. How much gold?
Translated, 100 gold per spell level.
Wait, only 100 per spell level? What?
What kind of spells does he have to teach me?
You know,
Or
the
is
School of Magic.
Or is
you
it like
will teach
I
them?
say how much gold I want to spend and I get, or whatever?
More or
does
less,
it
yeah.
Man, magic is cheaper in this world than the other D&D world. Holy shit, dude.
I mean, I'll give him like, I don't know, what, 100 gold per spell level, you said?
Mhm.
I'll give him like 3,000 gold for, additionally for like some cool spells.
Well, for 3,000, you can basically write any spell level that you can learn of Dunamancy into your spellbook.
Hey. Okay.
So from level 5 and down.
Yeah, obviously.
Hmm.
Let me see. I think that's a bad deal for me. It's not that many. Because I already learned one.
For narrative purposes, we say you get that one from this little encounter.
Okay, so I do get from leveling up another one then.
Hmm.
So I took that one from for
Yep.
leveling. Okay, so I get Pulse Wave. Cool.
So about this little artifact consumption, should we proceed with that right here?
Yes, I think that would be preferable.
He reaches out to grab the daggers with his hand, plucks them from you without any resistance, leans back a bit, and flicks them towards your chest. And the moment they fly towards you, they shrink into small motes of energy, and one by one flies into you. You're no longer in possession of your daggers, but you are in possession of this.
Oh shit.
So while all this is going on, Paluna, you headed to Vin.
I mean, if this marks the end of the day, then yeah, Paluna will head to Beer's Inn.
Right. So you see
Or
this.
if Beer has just set up at the actual inn, then he'll head there.
So as you enter the this makeshift house that says Beer's Brewery on top, it's not really a fine constructed establishment yet. And as you enter, you see a bar a few tables and a few chairs, and a few kegs lined up against the wall in the background. Seems to have been newly built, but within you see a familiar Jimmy in human form sitting at the bar, having a laughter with a blue guy behind it, while some chairs are being moved about by an invisible force. And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
Oh shit!
That's a big chapter of adventure done.
Yeah.
That closes up the Arkham arc pretty well, I think.
The Arkham.
The arc ham made out of meat.
Juicy.
So, where you guys are headed next is hard to tell. But I guess it's for you guys to convene and for you to ask about, to hear what your options are. You're familiar with various threats that loom in the world and have old things to tie up, old people to meet for some of you. And Paluna, you can always write to me offline what you want to start for establishment rebuildings. We can say that happened throughout all these conversations throughout the day. And all the
If you guys
revenue that
have
been
anything you
generated.
want to weigh in on the whole establishment rebuilding part, do say. If not, I will just sort of
Okay.
go ahead.
Can that document be posted again in the D&D chat, and I can pin it so we can have an overview?
Well,
I did promise I would
technically,
actually make a proper solution for that.
I'm not part of your clique yet, so.
So you will be.
Yeah, well,
Well,
invite me then.
You're just a new guy, still. We'll get you in on the deed somehow.
Can't just
Indeed.
invite 1,500 people in and then have a crowning ceremony right there while a DJ is watching. That's going to overshadow your presence. First, you got to meet the Red Dragon. You got to get acknowledged by him, and then you got to gain the favor of the people by doing them some kind of service, and then you might earn your right to be called Lord Reginald.
Ayo.
Please do notice that technically the most revolved people in this city is me and Valentina.
The most what?
Yep.
It's just technically we are like basically the king and queen of the city.
Oh, yeah.
But
It's a bit funny
technically-
because
Can we start
Luna doesn't act
building
like
a
it at
castle?
all.
No, and technically the most respected and well-known person in this city
Dockmaster?
is Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy, yeah.
The Dogmaster is his own entity.
Mm-mm.
Everybody just agrees. Let the Dogmaster do whatever he does. He's way too creepy to get in the way of.
Yeah. People
Yeah,
have
it's really
tried.
creepy. But
People
I
have
mean,
disappeared.
we tried once, didn't go so well.
Luna hasn't, but he's figured out that's a terrible idea.
Yeah. But he seems pretty useful, so let's not ask too many questions.
He's a professional. That's all you need to know about him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for the session. Good conclusion.
Mhm. Well, yeah, thank you for the session. And if there are any questions or any offline things, you guys just contact me. And now I have to prepare for a new open world environment, which brings me into something a bit unfortunate. I have a work-related thing next week.
No.
Yeah, I will be out of town for most of that week,
Oh my god.
so there won't be
I
much
mean,
time to.
If we are doing the work-related dance next week after's a holiday,
Uh-oh.
and so's the one after that. No. Is it really? Nej, pinse er ikke torsdag, er det?
think it's a...
Pinse...
No, that's
That
Grundlovsdag.
podcast talking about.
Åh, ja, det er grundlovsdag. Åh,
Ja.
In
Og så er det anden pinsedag efterfølgende.
ja, ikke?
Because I planned my
Make words
weekend
out
over
there, no.
those two holidays. So I have a 16-day vacation at that point, I think.
Pretty solid. I have a
Pretty solid.
conference on the other side, so I just shut any idea of vacation and just be like, no, I have to work.
Oh,
Like, unless I'm forced to not work, I'm working for like until the 10th of June. Like, if it's a holiday or weekend, I won't work. If I'm off work and at home because I've done my daily work, I won't work. But other than that, I will be working.
well, I will get a whole week to hopefully prep something for, and then maybe we can catch up by having 2 sessions the same week afterwards when I'm on vacation.
Ayo?
That wouldn't be too
Oh.
bad.
Actually, I have an idea for like a D&D related stream we can do next week, Emma.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we can do like a town planning stream.
A town planning stream?
Hey yo,
Yeah, we can go through all the things Mickey has posted about what we can make with the town and actually talk through what we want to do.
Alright.
could be like
A suggestion.
huge, small stream envisioning what Darkman might turn out to be with your investments. You have some goals to throw about, and you can
Okay.
present that as a PowerPoint presentation for me. I expect at least 10 slides.
Oh, you poor innocent man.
Oh no, what have I done?
Just 10 slides?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Public bureaucracy is not so weak.
No, you're right. My mistake.
Alright, we can try to figure something out. So,
It's just an idea if you want to go for it. We can also just totally not.
Either way, I think you guys should spend some time. Either you can make a stream out of it, or at least have a chat with each other, and then present your ambitions to me when we get to play again.
alright.
Hmm?
Sounds good.
It sounds good to me.
So wait, no D&D next Thursday, but then you said something about holiday and Pinse and Grundlovsdagen. So what's going on?
Well, next week from May 19th to May 25th, 24th, I'm out of town for business related stuff. And the week after that will be the week before my holiday.
Oh,
So that should be fine. That's like
Okay,
normal
yeah.
D&D week. And the week that is my holiday, we can probably squeeze in 2 sessions in 1 week if people are down for that.
Your holiday is from
June 6th to June 16th.
yeah. I will be honest with you.
Mhm.
My life can vary from fairly relaxed to epic levels of busy because I have one of the big projects of the year in that conference I'm making right on June the 10th. So I might legitimately be like, I can or I can't D&D that week. It's completely up to fate.
We'll take it as it comes. We'll catch
Yeah,
up on it. We'll catch up on those 2 D&D sessions. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll what's called loop around.
100%.
Loop back on those.
Worst case scenario, we just have like 3 D&D sessions in a row if you cancel on that week. Huh?
And yeah, you guys don't have anything to say about that, by the way. We're just totally ignoring that you might also have a life outside it.
life outside?
Ah, that's cool. Cool.
Nah. I just want to play D&D.
Okay. We can have some text-based D&D where you guys just send 1 action at a time to me, and I'll respond to that action, and then we'll see where it leads you guys to. Mm-hmm.
That's just called chess.
Oh, want to play chess?
No, I suck at chess.
Four-way
fair
chess?
Ludo?
Monopoly?
Oh no!
Oh, capitalism! I fucking love capitalism. Let's
no!
go.
We lost. Oren
I
has
am
advantage in
that
every roll.
kind of Monopoly gamer, by the way. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah, I believe
Uh,
you.
I love the fact that I got one of my friends a game about like the different classes of society called Hegemony, where you can play as the capitalist, the working class, or the middle class, or the government. Really fun game. Turns out, for some reason, I'm really good at it. Like, I show up first time just beat everyone, second time beat everyone, and I'm just like, I'm just doing what I think feels right. Turns out, actually being a capitalist is really effective in that game.
Yeah, no. If people are still surprised about capitalism working, anyway. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying it works, and you can't deny it.
There it's
So-
it. I will take the whole capitalism philosophy discussion at a later date because we won't be leaving today if we start.
No, let's start. You need for your
No.
conference call.
Save it for next stream.
So next stream, okay, that's what you're gonna stream about on Thursday.
Capitalism, yeah.
Capitalism. That's right up your
Orange
alley.
capitalism slideshow.
Oh no.
Checks out.
What is capitalism really? Today we'll be learning.
Please don't.
Today we'll be shooting ourselves.
In game, right?
Violently.
In game,
Right in game. Yeah.
Anyhow,
So
I'll see you guys.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys next time.
Alright.
Ciao.
Peace.
See ya.
See ya. Alright, chat. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be back next time. Tomorrow morning, I guess. And, sadly no D&D next week, but the week after. But maybe we'll still do something next week. That's it. Have a nice rest of your evening and see you next time. Bye bye.